All right, and we are live once again. Hello, internets. Hello, everyone. This is another paradigm shift team building not after party, team building video hangouts thing that we got going on here. And I'll just get everyone in the chat everyone in the broadcast to say live to you guys. So, guys, you can unmute yourself and just say hello to the internets uh, as we will. Hello,
Hello!
internets.
Hi, Internet!
Greetings!
Welcome!
Breezy, do that wink thing or something. Do some sort of.
What? Which one?
What?
What?
Brianna, do like some sort of anime face real quick, just so I'll get a screen cap.
추가요.
Oh, it's lagging. No way, there it is. I think I might have got it. Okay, anyways, welcome to Paradigm Shift team building hangout thing that we got going on here. And just as a quick introduction for what it is that you're listening to, this is an ongoing story related to the Paradigm Shift Central project. And many of you have probably been tuning in to past episodes, and we did a team building hangout last week. And this is obviously a continuation of the real-life stories of shifters. And shifters, in terms of the Paradigm Shift Central project, is the whole theme of the project is about building a team of shifters. And shifters are people who are actively working towards helping assist in the shift in consciousness through their own personal growth, and in this case, related to this project, in terms of intentionally creating conscious community and also engaging in acts of shiftivism. Things such as free hugs, conscious sign holding, any sort of creative ideas that we can do to help plant seeds to help assist in the shift in consciousness. So there are some really cool updates that I want to be able to get into you guys with in terms of the main website and just like what I've been so busy working on in the past few weeks. And in that sense, like this team like hangout thing is also very useful because it's kind of like the radio show, and this is kind of happening in place of Paradigm Shift Radio right now, for those of you wondering when we'll get back into that. And in terms of community news, there was talk about doing a global meditation broadcast this Thursday in sync with the new moon, which is what we said last Thursday, or last new moon. We said we would just try it for the next full moon. I'm going to hold off on that for a couple of reasons, but the next intention would be to move it to sometime closer to December 21st. So I think that would actually be even more to get excited about. It'll give us something to work up to. So that's on a Monday. It's been a while since we've had December 21st on a Monday, I think. So that is just part of the news. I'll let you guys know about that, and you guys will be able to get involved with that, and it'll be really cool. And also, like, Star Wars will have come out by then, so everyone will be like hyped up on Star Wars juju. So that's really cool. And shout out to Jonathan. I just saw him joining, and shout out to Sam, who is also here with us. We got a full room tonight, and we're going to switch over the mics to get some other people talking. But just in other terms of community news, I'll just fill you guys in real quick in terms of the LiveNet website, like what it has been turning into, what it is becoming. Okay, this is like the best way I can explain this. Paradigm Shift Central, like, you guys are familiar with it and everything, you know, the website, the project, the media, the community. It's evolving beyond just being a website. It is more than just a website. Paradigm Shift Central is a game that you can play. And like that is like kind of the next level of the website. It's actually going to be very much like a video game. So the menu is going to simulate, and if you guys look on the main website right now, I'll just like explain it to you while I'm on the main website. So that would just be like, if you guys, which you probably haven't yet, I encourage you guys to go right now to live.paradigmshiftcentral.com or paradigmshiftcentrallive.com, and if you're logged in with your profile, you'll be able to see some of the updates that I'm talking about. So everyone, on the main, like, there's going to be a main menu, which I'll share with you guys like later on. I'll give you guys a preview of it, and there's also going to be a lot of cool stuff. But the basic gist of it is that there's like the main menu, which is like a main menu of a video game that people will land on, and that's like the main ParadigmShiftCentral.com. At least it will be once I finish updating it. And then from there, it basically has like a few things to select from. It has begin new journey, continue your journey, how to play, origin story, and map and activity feed. So we are creating like the ongoing story here, and then within the website you have like your home page, and then you have like message inbox, new quest journals, new conscious articles, and your friends. So this is all just basic stuff. And then when we get into the tools, we basically get into like the exciting things where we have the community wall, community activity feed, global interactive map. That's the exciting thing, and that's going to have like a GPS version built into it in the future. So again, like as we continue to evolve the project, imagine the idea that again, like the main website, this is going to function basically, and I'm just going to explain quick. So I want to get into the team building aspect of the whole team building meeting, but this is part of it. Is explaining to you guys the foundation of why it's exciting for you guys to be involved with this now, and to give you guys a better understanding of the concepts that we were working with. What I was going to say though is that this website, imagine it in the same way people have apps, or people like literally have like an app on your phone that's like a video game and you like click it. Replace like that with like the website, and every time you go into the website, it's like you're opening up that app, and the main menu sort of reflects this, and that is like part of like the thing that makes it really cool, is that like within the tools section, so again, like imagining this is like a real life MMORPG, and like this is like your MMORPG menu, and you go into it, and again you have your main menu, your journey, and then you have your tools, and then from there it's like main media feeds related to Paradigm Shift Radio, Paradigm Shift TV, which is actually a new thing that wasn't announced from the last time we did a Team Hangout broadcast. That's functional now. If you go to ParadigmShiftCentralLive.com/TV, you can actually like see the thing that we got set up, where it's going through a random selection of all the videos that we have added to the Paradigm Shift Inspiration like playlist from community creators over the past several years. So that's like over 350, and basically like it's random, aka an advanced psychic algorithm. So basically it's like a tarot card where you just like open up Paradigm Shift TV while like working out or while like doing chores, and you're just like, oh, somebody's video from like 3 years ago that I never would have found otherwise, and then they have a message, and it's just like, whoa, that's like really what I need to hear right now. So I've already experienced this. I've been like using it while just like working out and like making food in the kitchen and stuff, and it's really cool. So you guys will be able to use that. So again, ParadigmShiftCentralLive.com/TV. So this is just like, honestly, I'm just going to be hitting the surface. I'll get back to the updates on this later because there's like too much to talk about just right now. But the other aspects of it within the tools are the, again, like the global interactive map, where you guys will be able to log your data into that so we can get it working functionably. The live chat, the like the 24/7 live chat, the Hangout lobby, that's going to be focused around video hangouts. So again, like you'll go into the website, it'll be a pattern where you can like go into the Hangout lobby and expect to be able to find people there, or expect to be able to see where they have posted about, like just like doing similar to what we're doing now, but you guys scheduling it on like a free time sort of thing. And then there's like the team forum, community index, shifter index, community startup guide, admin support files, admin sign up, and record new webcam video. And then other than that, there's like again, like the main Paradigm Shift Radio, Paradigm Shift TV, video archives, which has got a bunch of stuff. The item stores. The item store is like a new thing, and that's where you'll be able to buy your shift buttons, your shift shirts, booster kits, and these are actually something that I'll introduce right now. The love wands. Where did mine go? I think I moved it somewhere, or I did have. Surprisingly,
you made a love wand?
Yeah, I don't have any within arm's reach right now, but oh, there it is. Okay, so I'll show you guys on webcam. These are next level stuff. This is basically like a massage tool, so it's like crystals worked into polymer clay, and they're like incredibly good for like massaging like the trapezoids and especially like lower back. And even there's like this funny spot just kind of near your ribs, and where you get it, it's kind of like a funny bone, and it's like feels really cool. If you guys know what I'm talking about. And even like honestly, like for your head and stuff like that, and like just like massaging your face. So these are really useful. These are really useful, and they're also encouraged to be used for like sensual purposes as well. So there's more of these that I got that I'll show you guys later. They're just not within arm's reach, and those will be available through the website. I've made a bunch of them, and they're already pre-ready, but I just gotta finish the store. And then other than that, there's a crystal wraps. So yeah, I'll fill you guys in on when we get posted on that. And then the last main things on the website are learning modules, which are these new things called meditation portals, which are awesome gifts, which are like a huge thing that I want to talk to you guys about. But but I'll just show you later. The data mine, which I'll explain later. Reality encyclopedia, which I'll explain later. Video game mindfulness. So there's like a specific point in the website where you can go and just play video games with the intention of like increasing your cognitive abilities. They're specifically designed for that, but they probably won't work on mobile because they're all flash based. Guided meditation recordings and project tutorials, which will be an assortment of things related to the community. And then there's another really cool thing, which I'll show you guys right now. There's the newsletter, which if you follow the link in the live chat for the people who are in the live chat, it's live.paradigmshiftcentral.com/newsletter. Or actually, oh, sorry, never mind. I didn't update that properly. I'll show you the newsletter later. Like, I'll literally just do it in the broadcast later. But it's I'll explain that once we get to it. But that's like really important because that's gonna be the platform for all of us. So this whole thing, I'll just explain real quick, related to like the intentions of the whole thing being a game. The way how you play the game is by documenting your journey. That is how you play the game, and then your stuff gets fed into the newsletter, which gets like also through like main articles, which then gets like fed into like a global audience being able to view it in a way that up until this point has been like far less effective. Like this is like me sort of optimizing and creating hacks where the newsletter will be like the growing fan base of the community, and people will be able to like see your videos in the newsletter really easily. And also if you check on like your journey homepage, you'll see the setup that I got right now for the media streams. The media streams are like way easier to view. And that's like part of like the big thing in terms of like being able to see what the most recent articles are, what the most recent central news is, and what the most recent quest journals are from your other shifters. So the intention, the way how you play is by creating, like documenting your shift, commenting on other people's, engaging in real world things, and then like achieving the goals of being able to help shift the planet and like taking part in the collective story. And there will be other perks along the way. Okay, that's all I want to say on that, just because that always takes up time. I have to like get into that, but it's like super huge news, and I'll just explain more of it later. Like, I'll explain more of it once like the website's like more finalized. But you can see now, it's pretty cool. Who's clapping? Was that Sam clapping?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, like it's really awesome. Like honestly, I've never seen a website get used like this, quite like this before. Like this, we'll still use Facebook, but then like LiveNet will be like its own thing, and eventually we'll start to like, we'll use Facebook for things you would do on Facebook, like post about like sort of mundane stuff, but Facebook is also the platforms where we can reach other people and then like show them things happening on LiveNet. So like the idea is to actually like encourage you guys to get to give you guys a reason to get excited about LiveNet. And the meditation portals. Okay, let me just check if this link's working for you guys. No, not yet. Okay, hold on. There's yeah. Okay, here, I'll show you guys the main menu, actually. For those of you in the live chat, go to, right now, this is a temporary link, it won't stay up there forever. Go to link.paradigmshiftcentral.com/main menu. And you'll see the main menu, and then from there, you'll actually be able to see it'll be like, oh my god, like this does look like a video game. So that's like kind of the cool thing about it. So like that's basically part of the news, is that like Paradigm Shift Central is evolving beyond just like a project where we have a podcast and people submit videos and stuff like that. Like it's actually becoming something you can play, which I think is really cool, because when you think about it on like some higher level conscious stuff, like we love playing video games in this reality. And so what if we actually like take it like a step higher and think about this reality as like something that we're playing, and we just had to like activate the game or a game within it in order to really fully step into the excitement. So it's like this entire time we were like just on this miscellaneous like it didn't feel like a video game, but now it's just like, oh crap, like now like this is like the most intense video game ever. We had to spend like X number of years in the waiting lobby before we actually even started playing the part where we knew we were playing. So, but yeah. Okay, guys. So just opening up the talking circle to anybody, just observations you guys have on that, and then we'll switch over on to like updates. So, but those are some updates for the community for you guys. So.
Shifters hack the planet!
Hack the planet! Yeah, man.
I'm excited to activate my video game character now because I've been wanting to for a little while. So.
Oh, and I've already there's a huge plot reveal with my character that you guys will only find out once Journey to Lucidity 3 happens. So,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Just hyping that up a bit for you.
Real life anime right now.
Real life anime. That's what this is helping do. Yeah. So. Cool. Okay. Are there any other comments related to LiveNet? I mean, if you guys got questions, we'll all do another broadcast specifically about it. So.
I'll say, like, I was looking at the ocean the other day on the beach, and I was thinking, like, life is a game. So it's just yeah, I get that you mentioned that. I was like, I was just having that same thought about how if we can tap into the humor, then we can have a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting, that it's like so much less serious,
Totally. So I'm just going to send you guys to check out my profile, because you're going to actually see there part of the way how the profiles work. This will just be the last bit I'll explain. Is like every time you go into LiveNet. So again, like you can either go right to ParadigmShiftCentral.com. That's how you turn on the game, and then you can go right into LiveNet by clicking Continue Your Journey. Or if you just go right to live.ParadigmShiftCentral, that will always take you to your profile. There is no longer necessarily like a main page landing screen. Like the global activity feed sort of replaces that. The main page is your home page for you, because like that's a place that you guys will be building. So if you log into my profile right now, you can actually see I put in a couple animated GIFs, and these are the actual meditation portals. So actually, if you go there, you can see one of the meditation portals I'm making. And that's the other big news, is that I hacked space-time using Adobe After Effects. Like I tweaked some stuff and made some like next-level mandala animation type things that I'm doing, and actually you can see a couple of them, and one of them's like the 3D toroidal vortex thing. Can you guys see that? I think Michelle's looking at it.
No, I'm laughing at the quote of "I hacked space-time using Adobe After Effects."
It's true.
Graphic
If you look at the animated GIFs, you'll totally understand. So, and the GIFs, the part of the GIFs is we'll be creating like I have a Tumblr account created already. It's already like hooked up. The GIFs will be used as meditation portals, as medicine, and as things to actually expand the reach of the audience. So we have an unlimited supply of these animated GIFs. Each one of these GIFs will reach out into Facebook, and each one will like be something that people will share sort of virally. They'll be like, oh my god, these are so cool, because they are, like, they're so freaking cool. And then from there, that will actually link them back into this project. So they'll stumble upon these GIFs, and then suddenly they'll end up in the main ParadigmShiftCentral.com, and it will just say, like on the main menu, it says a real-world, interactive, conscious, cooperative adventure. Paradigm Shift Central, the shift begins from within. And then they'd be like, what is this? And then begin new journey, and then that like takes them to the page where there'd be like the intro video type thing. And there's going to be new intro videos, and that's all the stuff that I'm building. And our origin story is on a 3D timeline, by the way. There's like a special thing that I got that's going to work for that. So we'll actually be able to have like a navigatable 3D timeline to view our stories, and that's what we're going to be building over the years. We have been building over the years. So until 2020. That's right now. 2020 is like the checkpoint, whatever that means. So my point is, I made an agreement long ago where it was just like, all right, I'll stick around on Earth until 2020. But if there's like some crazy Stargate that opens up after 2020, I'll consider going to another planet or something like that. I know it's crazy, but we'll see.
I get you.
Yeah, you never know. But I'm staying around till 2020. That's my agreement. So let's make it happen.
We're on all the same wave.
Mm-hmm. So last thing though, just on the profile. Yeah, the idea is that like you leave messages that people will see. So you would leave a video on your welcome wall that's like an introduction of who you are to people. So you control like when people discover your profile, like what your intro video would be. So there literally could be a video being like, "Hi, my name's this. Welcome to this," And then like below, they would actually be looking at each profile as a profile for gonzo journalists. You know, like that's literally like what this is about. So then you'll be able to scroll down more and you'll be able to see their individual posts and as well as the community feeds and their activities and stuff. So this is like, again, showcasing each of our things. And I know, like, you know, more and more of us are becoming more familiar with working with cameras, and even the one-shot takes are something we'll talk about more. Like the one-shot take video logs, finding the like effective and efficient ways to like document stories, the shift in consciousness, and like using media. So, okay, yeah. So yeah, if you guys check out live.paradigmshiftcentral.com, it'll take you to your profile, or check out anything on there. But I'll finish the build later, and I'll fill you guys in on more. And it's not fully turned on yet. That's my point. But it's exciting. Okay, so that's a bit of the updates off the top. Again, just reminding myself that that's practice. But I do want to be able to, in terms of communicating things, because I just want, one of my intentions is to become better at communicating things, and also to place things in mindful order. So next thing, as much as I would love for it to simultaneously be the first thing, is to get into our chat with all of our shifter friends here and to just hear a little bit more about what you guys have been up to. And again, like, you know, the intentions of this video chat are to build as a team, and part of the way how we do that is by learning about who each of us are, by hearing our stories, and by just like being mirrors for each other's growth. So with that said, I think let's just turn on like all the mics and just like get you guys like talking and stuff like that. So how's everybody doing?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
All good.
Cool. Okay, so we'll do a quick check-in. Let's like, because again, people who are listening to the audio for this don't understand who's here. So from my screen, from left to right, we got Carlos, we got Gary, Joel, we got Jonathan, Michelle, Sam, Paul, and Brianna disguised as Stacy, which is just because she's logged in on her friend's computer, but that's a joke. Cool. All right. So does anybody sort of like, or I guess Michelle, did you want to kind of go first? And the way how we'll do this, like, again, passing the talking stick to you, sort of share with us a little bit about like what the shift looks. Okay, let's narrow this down. So in terms of last week, we asked the questions of like who you are, where you're from, what the shift looks like, where you are. And that would pretty much be enough to sort of expand upon in whatever direction you see fit. So let's just keep it to that again, and we'll open up from there. So, yeah, thanks again, everyone, for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks, everyone, for listening to this in the future, and enjoy getting to, you know, see this real-life story unfold. So, okay, I'll pass it to Michelle. Go ahead, Michelle. And everyone else who's not talking, we'll just switch ourselves to mute.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Michelle Infinity. I live in Cocoa Beach, and I have been listening a lot this week to what do I start with? Let's see, what do I start with? Hold on, of course my music is like taking me out. I've been listening about how to center, which is perfect that I just started all like scattered. I've been understanding how to center amongst things happening, and amongst how do you maintain your own vibration when there's so much going on around you, and how do you learn to listen to your heart and to find your inner stillness, and to speak and act and be in the place that you need to be in order to be the change that you want to be on the earth. And I feel like that's a constant growing and a constant learning and a constant evolution for myself. And how do we listen to, the biggest thing was like, how do we listen to our hearts in the midst of being challenged by the rest of the vibrations on earth, like, kind of like group consciousness, where you're not having these conscious conversations, where everybody's like, where you notice there's a lot of ego energy, and there's like a lot of, and you're paying attention to all of that because you can see behind it, and you're like, like, does anybody else feel that way, where you're just like barraged by like just the energy of the outside world, and then how do we maintain our own personal integrity, which brings me back, look at that, full circle to the intention that I had last week. So there's integrity, this concept of integrity. I learned a couple things about that word. I learned it means to integrate the parts of your being so that you are whole, and also the integrity that I know, and probably a lot of us know, is the moral integrity of like maintaining your own integrity, your own vibration. So like what's been showing up for me is how do I be very free, expressive in my power and in my own truth, even though people are like totally, oh God, how do I say it, like BSing you, or they're being polite, but like you can tell that they're not really feeling like that. And so people all over are dancing outside of their own integrity. And so how do I show up in my integrity in the midst, being empathic, and then seeing all that vibration? Bam. That's my offering.
Bam. Cool. That's awesome.
Boom.
There's a couple things I was going to say, but I also thought of something else in terms of within our intros that we'll aim towards is to add in any community involvement we have been involved with in the last week, if there is anything, and I mean like whatever that means to you. What have you done to contribute to the community in the last week? And obviously that could just be like, well, I sat at home and I was a hermit for a week. That's a thing too. Like, yeah. You know. That contributes. Go ahead, Michelle.
I did self-work.
Exactly. I'm building up for something. Yeah.
I was present in my work environment. I do websites and I do teaching at a university, and I was open-hearted. I'm like, give me points. I was open-hearted. I was honest, and I had a really clear moment of speaking my truth and showing up as an equal to somebody in my life that I could tell received it as a, oh, thank God. Like when we show up and we're like connected to ourselves, and other people are like, we can connect to other people. And I think that is, again, being in your own integrity and your own power and your own voice. And I think other people who are conscious are like, yum, 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 thank you, you know, because everybody else is like not like that, you know, not everybody else, but that's so general and terrible to say. But, you know, it's rare that people are very authentic and raw. And so I showed up as, like, myself, which was nice. Felt good. So that's it.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the update, then.
No problem.
Okay, did you want...
Do you feel more centered?
Go ahead, Brianna.
Yeah.
Oh. Can you hear me
just,
okay?
Yeah, just ask it again. I think we did hear you, though.
I was just asking Michelle if she felt more centered, because she was talking about centering and stuff like that. So I was wondering if she felt that in her daily life and like at work. Did you feel that at work, Michelle?
I felt that at points. I felt definitely in and out of that throughout this week, for sure. And I danced with it, you know, like I danced with, and it's beautiful. What I'm really witnessing, I guess, is like what situations or vibrations, you know, take me out of my center and my own reactivity versus my responsibility, and how we are, how we can, like, that's a huge dance, right? Like how we react versus how we keep our center and then respond, you know? So yeah, I'm working on it. Definitely. Maintaining my integrity.
Cool.
Thank you, Breezy, for asking. Did you feel centered?
Thank you.
No,
I was all over the place.
Oh, Brianna, I was going to say we can move introductions over to you, unless, Michelle, was there anything else like you wanted to open up?
I want to pass, well, I can say my website, Infinite Everything. Woo! It's up, it's new, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous.
Awesome.
It's authentically me. But yeah, I would love to pass it to Breezy, because I love her.
InfiniteEverything.com. .net.
.net. Woo!
.net. Okay, I'll post that link again. Okay. Cool. I think Brian might be joining, but Brian's in the chat. Hello to Brian, and just let everyone know looks like the chat's almost full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's one more spot open if somebody wants to join in. And again, if you're listening through LiveNet, just click that join button. But if you want to watch, if you're not entirely familiar with the community just yet, then feel free to just watch and observe this way. So totally cool. Okay, so Brianna, we'll pass it over to you, and you can just share again who you are, what year, where you're from. I mean, last time we did ask, like, what are some of your interests and stuff, if there's anything more you want to share about that, or even like what are some of your future intentions, maybe something you want to share, like future project visions that you might have. That could be a thing to get into. We don't always have to ask the same question. And yeah, like any community involvement you've been involved with or see yourself be involved with, if that.
Oh my gosh, so many questions.
So just answer like 99
I
questions at once.
One
and
of those
then,
questions. I have an
yeah.
answer. It's just going to take a while, so I'll try and summarize. Woot woot.
All right,
My
your turn,
name
go ahead.
is Brianna, and I also go by Breezy Spreadlove on the internet. I am in Michigan, and last week I talked a little bit about Food Not Bombs and the book fairy, and like doing a really, really free market, and just doing community action-oriented events. But to go along with an actual team builder, because those are like long-term goals, because Food Not Bombs takes intense work. But in terms of team building, I'm actually meeting up with the Book Fairy, aka Angelina, in Grand Rapids this weekend to work on a Christmas Book Fairy YouTube video, which will be a good team builder for us in terms of working together and collabing and creating something together. But also it'll be something fun, and it'll help get her name out there too in terms of the Book Fairy and her really great idea of promoting reading and giving away free adventures. So that's one thing. That's an actual progress thing that's happened this week. Yay! And then I had another idea spontaneously come to me today called Hooping with the Homeless, or Hoop with the Homeless, which is kind of taking hula hooping, which is a hobby of mine. I hoop dance. And there's a lot of other hula hoopers in the Kalamazoo area as well as in the Grand Rapids area, but I thought it would be a great idea if we, because a lot of people stand on the street and ask for money and stuff. Well, what if we like street performed and then they got to keep all the money at the end of the day? That was just like one idea that I had, and it's very fleeting, but it can be built upon. So I thought I would throw it out there.
I'll just sort of, if you don't mind, on that idea, like that's like a super awesome idea. The idea of busking and then giving that money on the spot to homeless people or whoever needs it, or even just like saving it and then like putting it into a community project. Super good idea. Totally, I'm all for that. We've had some success with some friends here in the past where we literally did it was me and like 5 people, and so we did it a few times with like 5 people and even more. But there'd be a few people on drums, even my buddy Jeremy on didgeridoo, and then I was doing free hugs, and like a few other people were doing free hugs. So you create like music, and then you have like free hugs happening around the music, and then you do it late during a bar night when there's like drunk people and stuff like that. But we were doing it in an area where it's like primarily students, so it's kind of like, just like you gotta pick your spots, obviously, in terms of just like things to be mindful of when doing like free hugs, obviously, because there's personal space involved, and you just want to be aware of the mindfulness for the safety of the team and everything. But totally, just like be like open and trust the universe, and hugs are like generally just very like any. I don't know. There's people out there where you just like every 100 people you'll hug, you'll get like one person who will want to punch you, but you're there for them too. So keeping that in mind.
Aw, you're so kind. Speaking of free hugs, I just got an email saying my free hug shirt is coming.
Oh boy!
I'm so excited.
I'm wearing.
I got one.
I'm wearing my limited edition Paradigm Shift shirt. Super cool.
Oh, I'm jelly. I want one of those too.
You guys will be able to get this one eventually. It says choose to be the change you wish to see, with the sigil on it. That sigil is.
I have one. I have one.
Paul's got it. Everybody show their shirt. Okay. So yeah, just on that note, beyond just passing it back to you, and totally like what we did though, like we, you know, in one night we would get like 80, $90, and then we had a bucket for that, and then like that bucket can be like used to be transformed into community projects or just like, you know, like anything it needs to be, and yeah, for people in need. And
Yeah, I'm excited to actually get on the streets of Kalamazoo because the point of that project wouldn't be to actually give the people money at the end of the day. It'd be to get to know them because I'd be standing on the street with them for a really long time, and I'm going to ask them first if I can hula hoop for them. So I have to like engage all of these people who live on the streets of Kalamazoo. And so like, yeah, that's scary. And just like with the free hugs thing, it like you need some personal integrity and you need to have like personal confidence and stuff like that. And a good support network. Buddy system, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, the mother in me, you know, is like, breezy girl, yeah, don't go by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, loving
I know.
Yeah, you gotta be smart about it. Like, straight up, like, sometimes, you know, some of the work involved with doing shiftivism stuff, like, you gotta be smart about it, you know? So.
Yep.
Protect your ass.
So that's about it, but
yeah.
I had another idea for, in terms of, like, announcements. I know I talked about vlogging, and I did vlog the meeting a little bit last week.
Oh, nice.
So I'm launching my vlog channel soon. I'm just updating a couple things. So that's something new that's going on in my personal universe. And then also I'm looking into photographers in order to do an actual YouTube professional shoot and have like a professional banner made and have just like a professional photo shoot, because my last professional photo shoot was when I was like 20. So I'm 5 years older, so I need an update. And that's about time just to have. And my dreads are longer, so yeah.
Cool.
Lots of upgrades. Upgrade.
And you're done your exams, so.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, that's totally. I'm not done with the class I teach, though, so I'm a teacher's assistant for Western Michigan University in their holistic health department, and their final is on Wednesday. So all you shifters out there, send them some positive energy. It should be really easy, but they kind of freaked out about it today in class. So, and then they did okay. So yeah, that's coming up next week, and then I'll be done officially, but I am done with my personal student stuff, thank God. Praise the Lord.
That's cool. Awesome. Okay.
I'm ready to pass the baton.
Yeah, passing the talking stick. Again, you know, just if there's new people here, feel free to use this as a chance to introduce yourself and just like where you're from, some of the things you're interested in, and what was the other question? Yeah, like any community, any shiftivism type stuff that you're involved with or want to talk about.
May I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
I sang a kirtan. I forgot about that, but I went and I drove across the state to go sing kirtan for some people. So that was totally,
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's one of my favorite community buildings.
Did you post pictures of that?
Yes, and there's a picture of it on Facebook, and everybody loved it.
Okay, yeah, I saw those. You look beautiful.
Awesome. And
said something sweet on Instagram. I love you so much. You're awesome.
Do you want to just explain what a kirtan is? Like a lot of people don't know.
Kirtan is chanting mantra music, so you chant the holy names, and this new person, her name is Durga, she is, I chanted in Hindi for the first time. I've never done that. I usually chant in Sanskrit. It's a whole different, more like deeper rooted kind of swirly energy vibration where it's like, oh, if I can even remember the song. It's so amazing. When you chant mantra, you know these languages like intuitively. You just like get into this vibration, and everybody who it was a small crowd, but like at the end of the night, like they all looked stoned out of their minds just by singing. So basically the definition is you sing a call and response. The people in the band, they sing, and then the audience responds, and I sing backup for the band. So I guide the audience in singing the response, and through that practice you get one pointed and you elevate your consciousness, and it's awesome. It's beautiful. So yeah,
that's super cool. Like Hare Krishna would that be like a type of
totally
kirtan?
That's called a Maha Mantra. that is the most high vibration mantra, like a high, like a different. That's unique unto itself, kind of. It's a different breed.
Cool, cool. And that's the one that's just like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Like that's that one, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, like that's like people will sing that for like days on end and everything, and they're just like they're literally just like in like a like an elevated psychedelic trance state from it, and they'll just like ran into it at the Loop City Festival. It was fun. Seen it a few times in person. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's good for the heart for sure.
Cool.
Gets you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's totally that's cool. That's a cool like shifter report like that. So again, like just going back to just putting everyone's intentions towards points of focus related to the Paradigm Shift Central project. Part of like the main goal, one of the main goals, the primary objective is to like build physical paradigm shift communities. But again, the physical paradigm shift communities are something as simple as weekly or however often open-minded discussion meditation circles, but eventually down the road these could turn into more physical places. But again, they start off just as like places where you meet up. So that's why like the focus is on building conscious community and everything. And again, like that's what this project will help give people ideas on, and that's where the tactics such as Shiftivism are techniques for meeting other people within your community who are also on the same quote-unquote wavelength or frequency or reality, where they would also be interested in assisting you with organizing these weekly meetings and managing things as an admin in your community and just getting them involved in general, regardless whether or not they're an admin. And then what I want to say is that related to Michelle's story is in terms of like how we played this game, how we accomplished the objectives, is also in terms of sharing our quest stories. So again, or like the quest journals, the stories of our quests. So I was just gonna say, like Michelle's story of like her doing her kirtan, even just with a few pictures of that, could be a really nice and like simplistic but effective quest journal. So I mean, that could be something that she could put together in like 5-10 minutes, and then a quick post of that through LiveNet, and then X number of people see that, and then they're just like, oh wow, like that's really cool. That's her story, and it could involve a small like video blog if she wants to add it, or just like her afterthoughts. Again, you guys can get creative with how your quest journals are, because they're very multi-dynamic media messages. Michelle's got her hand up. Go ahead. Or was that a question, or was that just a?
I was raising the roof.
That was cool. So yeah, so the quest journals are totally something where it gives you guys a chance to express yourself, share your story, practice sharing your story, and then working up towards creating eventually conscious articles, which again are a little bit different, which are less about you and more about a particular topic or another person's particular creation. We'll get more into that a little bit later though. So but yeah, I just want to mention like how that's a good example of what a quest journal could be. So start thinking now, like what could be quest journal stories, because those quest journals are like gonzo journalism stories for you. Whether you actually think of yourself, you could if you really want to go balls out already, like take that step into like doing it as a reporter. Then think about it. Think about things, upcoming news stories. Where's a good place where you could go, where you might be able to even ask a couple of people something on a question that could be related to the shift in consciousness. So you can start thinking about these things now. Like how can you be an archivist for consciousness? So that's like again where the term gonzo journalist comes into play, because gonzo just means like including yourself into the story of your journalism report. So yeah, just things to keep in mind. And if we have questions about quest journals and gonzo journalism, we can get more into it later on. Okay, so let's open the microphone up to we got a couple of people who haven't introduced themselves, as in the sense that they weren't here last week, but they are people within the Paradigm Shift community. So we have Carlos and Sam, and I was just going to open it up to one of you guys if you guys want to introduce yourselves. Whoever would like to go first. You guys both unmute at the same time, so I'll let you guys decide somehow.
Yeah,
You
man,
want
that's
to
up.
go first, or
This is
I'll
one
go
of the
first since I've never been here before.
cool. Okay, Carlos, go ahead, and then Sam can go. Sam can go after. That's cool.
Okay, so
All right. so you can just say, I was just gonna say, so just like who you are, where you're from, some of your interests, and then also like any community, conscious community type things you're involved with right now, and anything else you want to share.
Okay, so my name is Carlos, and I live in Virginia, near DC. And anything community-wise, I usually stick to myself, so I'm really like solitary all the time. But with that solitary time, I'm always working on myself. So I guess I can say I look for areas in my life to see where I can be more present. So with work, as well, very good example today at work, I kind of flipped my perspective on how I view work, and I got really playful with it, and I decided to look at everything as an artist. So I took every little aspect of what's on my duty list to do at work, and I turned it into a work of art, as if each and everything that was on the list for me to do, I turned it into let's say like a devotion to an art piece. So for me, that helps me be more interactive with the customers that come in, and puts me into like a different state of attitude where I can be more lightness, to be more in lightness, to be more graceful with the people that I interact with, instead of like treating it as like a chore or it's like an obligation. It's more of like I turn it into like a devotion for myself. And along with the work, when I come home from work, there's also my family life, my immediate environment that I choose to be more present with, because usually I would stick to myself and be more solitary, because this is my first time actually like doing anything interactive with any other, people, any other conscious, people within the community. I usually just sit back and I observe everyone, and I learn from a lot of people, but I don't necessarily have those conscious conversations with them on a regular. I just sit back and I absorb it all. And then I go within myself, and then I see that what they're speaking is really like a message that I'm sending to myself at that moment. So I hear what they're saying, and I take it as a message that I've been sending to myself through them. And that usually happens a lot. And it happened today here when Michelle was talking about being censored and not being pulled in by other people's games that they like to play, when they like to play games of like self-pity or self-importance, and just really staying and sticking with your own integrity. But I've also what I've taken from that with sticking with your own integrity, I've also learned not to judge people by their appearances or by their conduct, and try to see beyond that. Because I've noticed before in the past, I would judge people by their conduct and say, oh, you shouldn't behave that way. That's not an enlightened way to behave. So I'm going to make myself the enlightened one and make you the unenlightened one, and that kind of separates. And that's more of a separative duality basic thinking. So what I've learned from that is to kind of see where I've been playing the games with myself, and kind of like do a turnaround and flip it on myself and see where I've been playing these games with myself. So not to get caught up in like a blame game, to point fingers and put labels on each other to see who is at a higher rank or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been dealing with, lately in my life. But my interests, I'm really interested in photography. I'm really interested in learning more about photography, because I kind of am self-taught. I kind of just, it's just something that came natural to me. So I did take college courses for it, and I did learn a bit from that. But I kind of took a break from college to sit back and to see what profession that I really wanted to choose to actually go into, and what my life path, where my heart was directing me. And I just took a moment to reflect on a lot of things. But now I feel like I'm ready to work with other photographers and other artists to teach me a lot of the things that I may have bypassed, just because I haven't really gotten into that aspect of the field of that artwork. So yeah.
Wow, thanks for sharing.
Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
thanks
you're
for joining us here.
Carlos.
Yeah,
Dude, that medicine, that was such medicine for me. Thank you, brother. That was so good. I could feel your words in my heart, my soul. I've been,
Who said that, by the way?
Michelle,
Oh,
in
okay,
response
thank
to
you.
what you said, yeah, my pleasure. I totally have been seeing a lot of choosing separation versus choosing. I had a dream last night I want to share. It's very short. It was love. And you, like, I could hear it before. It was so good. I could hear it before you, and then you went deeper into it, and I was like, this is exactly this medicine. Love is all encompassing.
Yes.
And I am just learning what love is. Like, in a way. I mean, that's only sounds half true, but like there's an aspect that's being taught to me through this and seeing where I've chosen. I habitually choose separation. And so everything that you said just rang really clear. And at the same time, I can't wait to merge into that, to really viscerally feel that whole oneness, like we all, I don't know, to embody it completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a non-intellectual level, you know, because I get it intellectually, but to feel it. So if you want to speak more on that, bring it.
Oh yeah, it kind of brought that to mind. So in my solitude, I have like a very vast ability to interpret things. So I sit back and I try to interpret the bigger picture of everything. But with that, since like I do sit back and I intellectualize a lot of things, and but what that's missing is the very most important component of it all is that okay, you can mentally understand these metaphysical concepts, but at the end of the day, how are you acting on that in terms of what it's really all about? So we can go back and forward all day and play tomato tomato when it comes to metaphysical concepts, but if you're not integrating a sense of unconditional love within your life daily, then what is it really all about? So with me, I had to learn to see past the behavior, the like I would say the folly, I guess, of my immediate environment, and to really see them as a divine being of light having a physical experience instead of focusing on their physical appearances and instead of focusing on their experiences and using that to identify them. I'll only like see past that and identify them from the heart and see them as a divine creature as myself. So yes.
Aho, identify. I want to say two more things, just one more thing. Mercy, the word mercy, I don't know if for you guys, mercy, compassion, and kindness, like all week have been, and exactly what you're saying is seeing it all in that heart space. And that is just, I've been seeing that everywhere lately. Like a huge, like even on Facebook, mercy, mercy, mercy. So yeah, aho, completely. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, yeah, thanks, Carlos. I'll ask you as well. I mean, I think but I mean, this was a question anyways. But just sort of worded a bit differently. Is there any like, is there any intentions that you would potentially have for like bringing more consciousness into your community currently? And if so, anything you want to talk about, like building conscious community?
Actually, this right now is one of my intentions because since I've never integrated this aspect of my being to actually interacting with other conscious people, this was one of my intentions to do, to actually get more involved in some way and somehow. And I've been watching, observing Paradigm Shift grow from what it was when I first started following is when it was Journey to Lucidity, I believe. Is that how you pronounce it?
Journey to Lucidity, yeah, the movies.
That's yes. That when I started watching the movies, and back when you met up and did something with the guy from Spirit Science. That's when I first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes back to like 2012. So.
Flashback, throwback. Oh man.
Flashback.
Oh, yeah.
3 Days of Light. For those of you who
I'm still repping that so hard. Actually, 3 Days of Light posters. I have them if anyone wants them.
What year is that? Is that from 2014?
Wow.
This was 2015.
15 last year. Cool. I'll just for context for people who are listening to this who are just new to the community or haven't heard otherwise, those are 3 Days of Light and Journey to Lucidity are a couple of the movies that we have done. The full-length movies that are on my YouTube. So they're about 2 conscious festivals. So conscious festivals really give you these movies kind of give you a vibe and an overview of like what the whole Paradigm Shift Central project is related to in terms of shifting consciousness and building the tribe and a bunch of like awakening people coming together and helping change the world. And you can find those on my YouTube at youtube.com/skullbabylon. So just go there for now because the main website would be too confusing for me to instruct you through at the moment. But you can find them there. So that's what I was going to say. So just going back to Carlos, like, is there anything? Because I mean, like, you do music. Like you do like
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
write
yeah,
and
yeah,
like you make like your music is like your art and
yeah.
stuff. So
I
that
do.
go ahead, yeah. If that's a way to integrate into your community or
Yes,
anything you
that
want to share.
actually helped. Recently I've been in between, like in between stage between people in my life and which direction I'm gonna go with my art. So I kind of took a step away from my rap group to focus on myself and really put conscious music out there because with my rap group it's kind of like dysfunctionality. So I kind of separated myself from that to actually put out the music and art that I want to. So right now, what I'm focusing on is my photography and um, I like to put myself in the art and make myself as the art. So that's what I've been doing with my writing and my poetry and my photography. And my intentions with that is clearly for me, is to kind of just to use my art as a representation of how far we can expand our perception with understanding consciousness and everything as a whole. That would be my intention behind every art piece that I do, to kind of stretch your mind to where it's never been before, to always fearlessly enter the unknown to where you've never been before, to always like be self-curious about your existence and never grow stagnant to a point where you feel like, okay, I know who I am, I know everything about myself, when you constantly evolve. So that would be my intention behind every art piece I have. And I would actually like to I have a huge vision for it. I would actually like to travel the world and work with a bunch of other artists who, like-minded people who want to present their artwork in such a way as to, you know.
Yes.
Yes, yes. uh, yeah, man, that's awesome. And oh, sorry, I'll just go ahead, Michelle. You go ahead
I was
first.
going to say, how do people find you? Because I don't know who you are, so I was looking you up and I was wondering, so how do people find you if they want to get in touch?
You can find me on Facebook, Carlos Imaween. Imaween is actually my rapper name, my artist name. If you don't know how to spell Imaween, it's IMOOEEN. So all you have to do is type in Carlos Imaween, and you can find me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And I do have a YouTube channel, which is why Gaia Gods popped up here and not my name, but I haven't really used it in a while. But I was actually going to start that back up and do like Q&As with people.
Cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, and again, like that's like, your art, any videos that you're making and stuff like that, if it's sort of themed around, or if it's created with the intention of like helping shift consciousness, even if it is just your own story, then yeah, like that's like live net material. So it's cool that like this project is sort of bringing together people who already are exploring arts in multimedia, because like that's like those are our tools, like poetry. Like I said this to Brianna like last week. I was like, like I literally said like poetry is our weapon. But like think of the weapon as like a more conscious tool that you use for like intentional things, cutting wood and building bridges and everything. So like a weapon is more so a tool than anything. But again, like that plus cameras plus LiveNet website and everything, like these are all tools to be able to help us ultimately reach more people, inspire more souls. Like that is part of the goal with this project, is to like really help people to give hope, to be water for a thirsty world, to spark people, and to help them awaken within like their own path, to encourage them along their own path of awakening. Ultimately, we are all awakening, but more and more of us are kind of going through those aha stages, and a lot of the times it's through art. So art is what this is about as well. Yeah. So Carlos, thanks for sharing that, and I posted your link into the live chat, and we'll definitely get some more stuff. And you put up a post on LiveNet like earlier today.
Yes,
like, that
I
was
did see that.
yeah, like that was like
I saw your comment on it, by the way.
yeah, because okay. Was there somebody else? No, because that was weird, dude. I have to like go back and reread that because there was another person who I was talking to in the live chat earlier in the week, and they almost shared like a similar story. Because you're sort of like, it was like a half lucid dream experience story, or
It was
maybe.
actually like a poem.
Okay, sorry, no, yeah, then I'm mistaken because I read that too, but yeah, the other guy who I think I was talking to in live chat also put up a post. But yeah, yours was the poem. Yeah, man. Did you want to share any of your poetry now, and then we'll pass the talking stick to somebody else if there's anything else you want to share?
I don't know the poetry off the top of my head, but I would share it if I did.
You don't have the link
But
in
no,
front of you, I guess, eh?
I don't have a what?
Like you're not on like a computer right now, right? Like, are you just on tablet?
I am
or?
on a computer right now, but it's very slow.
Okay. All
No,
right.
no. I'm on my phone. Yeah. So I don't have anything right now.
Okay. All right. Because I was gonna say I could just send you the link, but if it's too slow, then we won't worry about it right now. Can you see the live chat?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Here, I'll just 1 second. Because I mean, literally, I can just like post it into the live chat.
That's awesome.
Can you see that in the live chat? What I just posted?
Okay.
This is our team building, is figuring out how to use technology. If you're able to see it, if not, we'll just keep moving on. Or if there's anything else you want to hit upon.
Actually, no, I can't see it.
Yeah, okay. That's all right.
Good. It mentions the
Yeah, I
infinite.
can't.
Yeah, Cosmic Alchemist.
Grandeur, infinite, for I am the dream walker and the dream weaver. Oh, I went back. Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you want to...
I will totally read this.
If Carlos, can Michelle read it for you? Is that... It's your poetry.
Yeah, by all means. She can read.
All right, okay.
Like
Michelle, give us a little show here. Put on like your bard voice or whatever you need to do.
Oh, okay. Grandeur of the infinite. For I am the dream walker and the dream weaver. Stop posting in the chat, you guys. Well, I got this. Hold on 1 second. Give me 2 seconds, and I will technology myself. 1 second. I got you. Now you can post away. All right. Grandeur of the infinite. For I am the dream walker and the dream weaver. I am the called and the calling. I am the bridge between which dreams become realized. I am the inventor, the cosmic alchemist. I am the grandeur of infinity. I am life's pagan tree. I am the sovereign center in which all collides. I am the unabashed brilliance of flourishing existence. I am the uncontrived, undefinable sweetness of life. The dawning of a morning moan from the ecstasy of a woman's pure self-arousal that arises innocently. I am the absolute deliciousness of exuding radiance, the infinite layers of being, all emphasized characteristics, and those that await to be seen. The flickering of accentuated aspects and all of its glory. I am the river as well as the banks that confine it. I am the shared sacred sexuality that unveils my eternity, the abiding intimacy of timeless sensuality. I am the unfettered traveler of the lands of nowhere, the nomad of infinity. I am the reverential journey that is like a treasure hunt of endless gifts. I am the inevitable action that is not taken, the stream that leads into the mighty ocean. I too am this mighty ocean. I am the island on which the imaginary story is told. The storyteller I am as well as the story which unfolds, the steganography that only ever grows, the revealing of majesty as it engulfs itself into its own enfolding. I am the unimaginable delight that is born of the unknowing nature of self-experience. I am the miraculous, ever-renewed painting of the changeless self, the multi-perceptive observing I, the architect am I. I am the violinist, the pianist, the orchestration of great splendor, the author of the self-made novel. All of these I am, the interpretative instrument of the infinite's eternal dance, authentic individuality, self-control, ever-evolving perspective of the song of the endless self. Emoine original piece, poem, written. Oh,
Oh, that was awesome.
that was beautiful. Like, your words are amazing. That was awesome.
And Carlos, if you just want to unmute yourself, go ahead. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. One of my favorite lines was something about like a woman's innocent holding something. That was like one of my favorite lines.
A woman's
Yeah.
pure self-arousal that arises
Yes.
innocently,
That one.
That's one.
including the delicious sense of radiance.
Cool. So that's really good, man. Yeah, like Carlos, what was it? That was a special, like that was again, like like if you had read it, we wouldn't have gotten Michelle to read it, but I think it was good that Michelle read it. So
Yeah, me too. I was just gonna say that. I really enjoyed the way she read it.
you did a good job, Michelle. Good job, Carlos.
Good. Thanks. My honor, you guys. So grateful am I to hear that. Thank you.
It's kind of a cool thing to think about that, like the experience of reading each other's poetry. So I mean, that could be something where like next week, like bring back some poetry to the group, and we can sort of, take some time to read it as well. I think that's valuable for team building. So.
Sure. And it was beautiful, the feminine masculine component in that. It was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Divine masculine, divine feminine.
Someone actually pointed that out. The same thing you just said. That's awesome.
Of course.
I was gonna say, like, so again, that as much as it is like a written thing, like if that's something that you can ever turn into a short video, then like that's like something again which would be like good content for like LiveNet and things like that. Like a good, like ideally, even just like for future poems, keeping things like, again, like concise, like less words, more meaning, while still giving yourself room to expand, but ultimately aiming to keep, like if it's a poem, aim to keep it around like 2.5 minutes at most ish, 3 minutes, or depending on whatever poem it is. But again, like just thinking about like what would be a cool thing to put in someone's news feed first thing in the morning that they can watch before going to work. Like that is kind of how can we format this medicine to be more accessible and respectful of like people's time and to make it convenient for them. How do we make good media? Like that's what LiveNet is about as well. So good poetry equals good media potential. So
I love that logic.
Cool. Carlos, was there anything else you want to
No, nothing else. Just a thank you for that, to actually shorten it to put more meaning and less words. I enjoy that.
To that one, yeah, or any other ones. I mean, like I think that one is good, but it's like it's potent. And I'm sure it could be even like more potent if it was actually, because again, like I think of crystallizing in terms of like, or shortening in terms of crystallizing, rather than just like taking things out. It's more like you're just like turning it into like an even more deliverable piece of medium, like creating that message for the intention of it. So yeah, it's interesting to think of poetry as like a vehicle for consciousness expanding ideas. And just to let you guys know, and we'll continue around the circle, and if anything else Carlos wants to get into, but I was just going to say, like, and again for people listening, the media side of thing is like obviously one of my main focus, and making videos is one of my big focuses. And again, to give you guys a part of an idea of what we're working towards with LiveNet, right now we're still like in practice stage, but we, like, once it's ready, like it will start getting a lot of traffic, and part of the ways that it will do that is last week, and I mentioned this in the last broadcast as well, I believe, but 2 weeks ago when I was in Toronto, I like filmed a video of doing free hugs, but what I also did is I filmed myself doing spoken word poetry, and some of you might have seen like a 15-second sample that I posted on this, but it's basically, so again, it's like a potent spoken word poetry video interspliced with footage of free hugs, and like designed as like something that people will share and go viral and things like that. Really be like, it's kind of like a combination between like almost like Jason Silva and like Preston Smiles and like a few other people plus like Skull Babylon combined into like this super epic video that can really just like make people's day, and also be a call to action to get them involved with the project and to either be involved or to just be a viewer. So, and when 50,000 people see that video, a bunch of them are going to come back to the site where they're going to also subscribe, and that's where they're going to get the newsletter, and the newsletter is going to feature your guys' video. So it's this very it's this huge hack that we've engineered out of this. So it's as one ship rises, as the water rises, so does every ship, and as one ship rises, like the tide rises with it, or something. Something like that. There's something else I was going to mention, but I'll just leave it at that for now. So yeah, that will come out. I'm probably going to release that leading up to the 21st, potentially. It's just a matter of once the website's back or like fully functional, and also like, yeah, I'm just so hyped that Star Wars is coming out next week. Like, that's huge, guys. Like, we're in a huge, like, The Force Awakens, like, that movie is about us. Like, that movie is about Jedi, like, awakening on a global scale. Like, that's actually what it's about, and that's actually, like, what this story is about. So.
Isn't that fantastic? Also, think about how, like, the main character is female, right? And there was that whole opening of the feminine energy a little while back. I'm just like, yes! Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you. You guys got me excited. I'm not down with the, and that now I'm like going to totally pay attention.
Oh, yeah. Actually, one of the things I want to do, and again, like, just as an example of how to be one of the strategies in terms of social media, I want to make a video about like Jedi that I can share within the week of like the Star Wars thing, or potentially the week after, or else I'll just like work it into a conscious movie review. But again, like this like thing about like like, are Jedis real, or something like that, like sort of making the video titled that as a question so people would check it out or whatever. And they would also be like a tag in back into like this website and be like, why, yes, they are. They're right over there. and then it will also be to link in and promote the Journey to Lucidity movies, which are also about Jedi.
She put on her Jedi hood.
The third one's got even more Jedis. Oh, everybody got their Jedi hoods.
Got the hood on.
Happens every broadcast.
So important.
Mine's over there. I gotta go get it. Cool. Okay. With that said, just checking in, we're at about, I think we've been on air for maybe 90 minutes, a little bit less than that, and we'll just see where we're at 2 hours. Last broadcast went for 3 hours. That's a lot of time, but if people are going to listen to 2 hours, they're probably going to listen to 3 because they just like listen to it in parts, and that's what I do with podcasts. I'll listen to a podcast over like 4 dog walks or something, or like bus rides or something. Okay, but that said, let's continue the conversation, and I did just want to pass it back. Carlos, was there any sort of maybe like collective intention that you would just like to verbalize for yourself, like what change you want to see in the world. I mean, I know it's a big question, but anything that you just kind of want to verbalize and put out there, and we'll check back in next week. Oh yeah, or maybe just do it this way, because last week we said, like, what are some, well, we may just do this later in the meeting, but it was like, what are some personal intentions that we can hold for ourselves between now and next week. So anyways, with whatever I just mentioned, just feel free to say whatever.
Globally, it would be nice if everyone could find the magic again within themselves, to have the magical perspective as they did as a child, where they felt it to be a safe place to explore what's unknown to them. So collectively, I would like to see on a mass scale, to see like the magic in people's eyes, I guess. That's something small, but that's also something big for me that I would like to see collectively all over, which I do see, but that's within the conscious community, obviously, but I would also like to see it where, I guess, what we would consider unconscious, I don't know what that means though, but to consider not unconscious, but let's say they're like sleepwalking, I guess, to see the magic in their eyes again. I would like to see that.
I like that, yeah. And that's totally like reflecting the intentions of this project. Just because it's relevant, because it's up. And thank you, Carlos. I'll just say again, giving people more motivation or just insight or ideas related to like what Paradigm Shift Central is about. Part of the reason doing free hugs is so useful for accelerating the shift in consciousness, like really that's why free hugs work. I mean, also for community building, meeting new people. Seriously, you can do free hugs for like 5 minutes. You could meet a person and be like, oh, hey, like, want to like go grab a bite to eat somewhere, and then that could be like a friend for life sort of thing. So you never know until you do it sort of thing. But what I was going to say is the reason why free hugs is important is because that is part of the way as to how we reach people outside of our like niche, our niche of, I don't want to, I'll just use the term New Age. But again, like, is that even still a thing anymore? I have no idea. But more like neo-age. That's kind of like what this is more about. So it's about reaching the people who, like Carlos said, well, are sleepwalking, if that's the term we want to use. And I think that is the most accurate term to use. In the same way that we'll sleepwalk through our dreams. That's basically the opposite of lucid dreaming. Like when you're not awake, you're sleepwalking sort of thing. So people waking up, like, we're always dreaming. It's just a matter of not we're awake. And there's a lot of people who are in that autonomous robot zone, or just like have yet to sort of really find partly a reason to be curious about reality or inspired to learn more. And that's, again, is why this website will actually be a hack for that. So people who do free hugs, who then get a shift button, shift buttons, again, you guys can order these through the website. And I'm still building the store, but you can get them soon, or now, and there'll be more coming soon. But again, like that links them into the main website, which links them into this project, which links them into your guys' videos. So like everybody, so that like them getting a hug and them getting a button it is intended to bring the magic back into their life. That's exactly what it's for. So each button is like planting a seed of magic. And then again, people will go through the website, then they'll find the Journey to Lucidity movies, among many other things, and then they'll be joining us in a Hangout soon enough. So, but yeah, hack the Matrix with love is basically what this is all about. I know it's very complex sometimes, but it's also very simple, which is why I think it works, because this is really just about love. So, and taking action. Cool. Okay, Carlos, is there anything else you want to say? We'll pass the talking stick to someone else next.
No, nothing else. You can pass. You can pass.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot. And
you're welcome.
And I got your profile, and we'll put that into the links on the LiveNet page. If people are listening to this through LiveNet, just refresh this after the meeting, and I'll have the links down below in the comments, so you can check it there. Okay. Cool. Okay, and along with anybody else who's mentioned in this podcast. Hangout, whatever this is. This is many things. Okay, so I think we were saying that Sam was going to go actually next after Carlos, and maybe we can explore down the road like more ways of kind of doing the meetings, because just ways where people can get more involved with the talking all at once, and people don't have to wait like 90 minutes to get in. So we'll work more on that. But anyways, hello to Sam. Sam, hey man.
Hey brother.
Hey. Cool. Okay, Sam, we'll just sort of pass over to you. Feel free to introduce yourself to the people. You're obviously involved with some really awesome conscious community project type stuff that some people might not be too familiar with. So we'll pass over to you and just yeah, introduce yourself and what it is that you're investing and working in right now.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess I just want to start by saying I'm really happy to be a part of this community. I love all of you so much, and you're all just the best family anybody could ask for. Um, and I really, really love what you're doing with the website, Brendon. I think that's so awesome. You know, life is a video game, and just playing that way, and people dedicate hours of their lives to video games, and it's so much easier to look at life that way, you know. But so yeah. So anyway, my project is called Haven for Humanity. I can website it up here. And basically we're setting up a conscious paradigm shift community up here in upstate New York. Kind of hard to know where to start here. Our basic goal is to get people to harmonize with nature in order to bring about optimal potential within all human beings. Like you were saying, people are in a state of sleepwalking as a result of the chemicals in our environment and just the inhuman life that we live, and so we want to get people back to a place where they follow nature's laws and nature's rules, and really open up and clean themselves out and detox and bring themselves to a place where magic happens. So there's sort of a few different branches of Haven for Humanity. We're still in construction phase right now, but we are doing health coaching and focusing on the physical aspect of humanity, detoxing people and getting people to eat a proper diet, just a natural diet, rather, not proper really, but a natural diet, and natural lifestyle factors, getting enough sunshine, getting enough sleep, getting enough rest, reversing all the damage we've done to ourselves over time, and becoming really a true human being again, so that we can then express ourselves in a way that can actually change the world. A lot of people are in a fog right now that is literally caused by chemicals, and getting those chemicals out of our system on a physical level is really important to growing the emotional and mental and astral bodies that we have. So through that we have we have 40 acres here, and we're converting all 40 acres into an edible forest. We will have paths walking through the forest with fruit and vegetables growing all year round. We're going to give food away for free. Whoever comes here and stays with us will be able to eat whatever they want for free. We have a huge library so that people can learn about the things that we're teaching about, and live in a conscious community that supports individual growth. Besides that, we have a volunteer corps, and the volunteers that are part of the corps can use this place as a home base where they're taken care of, where they're supported, where sort of all their needs are being met: food, electricity, natural gas. We are completely self-sustainable. We create our own electricity. We grow our own natural gas. So the idea behind that is sort of when all your expenses are paid for, when you don't need to buy food, when you don't need to buy electricity and natural gas, and you don't need to pay for all the things, you don't need to have a job where everything is sort of based on getting as much money as possible. Instead, you can focus on your passions and really get back to whatever it is you want to do. So if if you want to write poetry, uh, you know, a lot of people can't make money writing poetry, but if you live in a place like we're creating, you don't need money to survive. And the poetry that you create, the passion that you're living, will eventually grow you into somebody that can put it out there and get back what you're putting out there, and sort of kind of harmonize with your true intent and your true purpose. Because I feel like a lot of people are blocked from following their passions because they feel the need to be practical and make money and deal with all these issues that normal people have to deal with. So through living in a place like this, even for a short period of time, if you want to stay here, eat here, hang out here, everybody is worthy, everybody has experience to share. So the volunteer corps will create classes, and that's the real basis of the educational facility, is that whatever volunteers are staying here will create classes that can bring people in to learn more about whatever they're teaching, whether it's meditation, whether it's healthy cooking classes, whether, as long as it follows in the principles of Haven for Humanity, and I'm working on writing the manifesto for Haven for Humanity right now. Any class, any sort of educational experience that people want to provide to other people will be allowed to happen here, and that way everybody can do whatever they want and be, as individual and beautiful as they want to be. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's like so impressive. Like, it is very impressive, like how much, and I mean, like, to hear about it alone is one thing, but for people who haven't checked it out, you can find them, Haven for Humanity on Facebook, but also havenforhumanity.org. But I mean, like, you guys do have the physical structures. Like, there's a lot that has been built. It's far beyond just concept. Like, it's in stage of, like, flowering, fruitioning. So I mean, congrats on like, just like from the last time I know you were on the radio show a while back, and even just seeing your updates, like, it's obvious that, like, you guys are making some good progress on it. So, dude, that's amazing. How long? I'm not. Maybe you said it, might just misheard, but my apologies. But remind people whereabouts you're located with that project, and also just like in terms of inspiration and any backstory, like how long ago, when did you start it, and maybe like what was your inspiration for starting it?
Sure. We're in upstate New York, in a little town called Livingston Manor, about 2 hours from the city. So it's a good spot with a lot of really open-minded people, and people that are into sustainability and sustainable farming and stuff like that. And it's a really wonderful place. It's really rural, so there's people remember what it means to be a neighbor and take care of each other and need to be with each other. So Livingston Manor, New York. That's that. And this is our 5th winter here. We left New Jersey 5 years ago and moved up here. Our inspiration is kind of all over the place. We had a lot of family members that were getting sick, and a few that died unnecessarily, through addiction and conditions that never needed to occur in the first place. But the current life that we live is not conducive to being a healthy and happy and clear-minded and passionate individual. So it's only expected that humanity is sort of going in the wrong direction, as this is what is considered the norm right now. So that's where we got into. We've been working with health and wellness for about 15 years, and improving our own health and wellness and trying to spread the knowledge as much as possible. And that was really because of our family and learning about about our family's issues and trying to solve them, and realizing that we can really help a lot of people with that information. But then we sort of put everything together, and there's a lot of the world is about to end stuff going on, so we wanted to be prepared for any sort of possibility that's around, and we wanted to really give people a model to follow, a world that doesn't have to have negativity, doesn't have to have sacrifice of yourself and sacrifice of your own personal beliefs and needs just because you need, or just because you think you need other things, or you're living a materialistic life. So we did a lot of research, we did a lot of reading, and after 2 years of researching and sort of making a plan, we decided to move up here. And it was before we even decided to open Haven for Humanity, which is now officially a nonprofit business. We just wanted to do it for our family and for our friends and just bring as many people into it as possible. And we realized that by making it a nonprofit and expanding it and opening it up more to the community, we can actually benefit a lot more people. So we decided to do that. And we have a 60-foot greenhouse, 60-foot diameter dome greenhouse, and that produces our electricity, our natural gas, our food all year round. And that's really, once we discovered this technology that's being released, we realized that technology is not an enemy, and we can combine modern technology with our current lifestyle and pick and choose what technologies to employ to really bring people back to nature and bring people back to a harmonious lifestyle. And so we specialize in body, mind, and soul, harmonizing each one of those things, identifying where imbalances are for people and rebalancing them so that they can experience true happiness and true passion in their lives. So through our own lack of passion and our own confusion and chemical fog that we've been in, we wanted to get out of it. And as soon as you start to feel a little taste of what it's like to not be in that chemical fog, that's it. You never want to go back. So we evolved ourselves, and we're in a constant state of evolution and learning, and we hope to bring as many people to that state as possible. And really, that's kind of my passion now, is to watch the magic in people's eyes and the light start to develop and rekindle itself as people clean themselves out and get to a state where they can really appreciate what's going on in their lives.
For sure. Yeah, man. Like, I think what you said there is really key. Just helping people remember how to find gratitude. And just being able to like, experience. There's like a term I like, sort of the idea of like find your own freedom, and finding freedom in any moment, but also through the freedom of like health and conscious living. And like a lot of people, I mean, not to get too far off track, but like a lot of people probably in mainstream culture, like they're used to the way their body feels at sort of like its default level, without realizing what it could feel at more of like a quote-unquote activated, like healthy, conscious lifestyle kind of level. There's like, and then eventually there's like, they're like, oh my god, like I didn't know I could feel this way. Like, oh my god, I didn't realize like, like a full breath of air could like mean so much to me or something like that.
Yeah, totally, man, totally.
So like, yeah, so like just like I know, yeah, like it's really cool. And again, maybe just to re-summarize for people, just to make sure they understand. So again, like Haven for Humanity is literally like a place out kind of in the woods that has physical buildings that they're still building, Sam and his team, and then like people will be able to visit it in the future and be able to like partake in different learning modules and workshops, and to even be able to like live there as part of a like sustainable. It's like, would you refer to it as like a sustainable community? Like how, like if there's, because I mean that's what there's more and more of, more like we're seeing a lot of those pop up all over the place. But with sustainable community, like I mean I don't know if like how many people's a community, but would you use the term? What term could you use to describe what Haven of Humanity is for someone who like doesn't understand?
Yeah, it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people, so it's kind of depends on what perspective you're looking at. But we're definitely a sustainable community. The building that we're working on right now is the community center, so it's going to have a big kitchen and bedrooms upstairs and places for people to stay and a huge library for full of interesting things to read. So that's really going to be. So it's definitely a sustainable, conscious community, I guess. Intentional community is what people have been calling it lately. So as far as that, if people want to come and stay and come and learn, and we're gonna have people come already and volunteer. It's amazing, actually. I can't believe how many people we have coming and going already. And we're not even like close to done building yet, but well, we're close, I guess. But yeah, so people come and stay for a few hours. People come and stay for a few days. In the future, people will be coming to fast here and to really cleanse themselves and learn about what a proper diet is. And I'm a health coach personally, so I'm going to take people through my health coaching process and clearing the cobwebs in their lives and getting people to where they want to be in their lives and way beyond it. That's my goal, is wherever people want to be in their life, they don't. A lot of times people don't realize their potential and what they really can be. So I try to take people way beyond what they want, and where they want to go. So yeah, it's a lot of things to a lot of different people. And so as far as education goes, we're planning on having every age group, from little kids coming up and doing finger painting and learning about wild plants and what grows in the area and just how to have fun in nature, to more advanced classes like I have a bowyer in town that makes his own bows and arrows and teaches kids how to have fun in the woods and be able to survive and build shelters and all that stuff. So
yeah,
it's so much. It's really hard to put down in words, to define it. So that's why I'm working on the manifesto, because it's really going to explain. It's going to be pretty long, but it's going to explain it all.
Yeah, and then like down the road, it's like, and then how to make like a 2-minute video explaining all that,
Right, yeah. I've been thinking of starting a video blog, and
that'd be great, man, and that'd be great live net content.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Totally. Cool.
And then you could post it on Paradigm Shift LiveNet.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You guys got it.
I just want to say your domes are freaking gorgeous.
Oh, you're looking at the pictures, yeah.
It is stellar. It is stellar, and that area.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude. Props. You are really doing good work. I was like, that is amazing. It's gorgeous. And you're by Cosm and the Catskill Mountains, so that's like a magical place up there.
We didn't know how magical it was, honestly, until we moved up here, because we had like a list of things that we required for the property that we needed based on what we were trying to do, and we looked around New Jersey trying to find a place, and we found the perfect property up here, and we moved out here, and like, wow, the people up here and the energy up here and just it's a magical place. It really is. I recommend everybody come to the Catskills at some point.
I will. I'll come visit you this year. I always end up over in New York, and especially with Cosmo State. So I would love to come visit you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Everybody's welcome. We have people coming all the time. Just giving a tour of the facility takes like an hour and a half. So.
Yeah, and Sam, has graciously, personally, like, invited me as well, and other people within the community, and anybody hearing this, again, you feel free to check it out. So havenforhumanity.org on the main website. But I was also going to say, like, one of the things that I'm really excited about that I can, in terms of the Paradigm Shift Central project is like long-term and vision. And I know some of you are already like heard me talking about this, but part of what this will eventually be down the road is like as LiveNet grows, as it becomes a valuable tool, as we get the things like the map created, again, the map will like show you in like all the different locations, and you can zoom in and you can see like the different circles, and then when you zoom in, that circle will be like 50 individual circles of people, and then you can find their info, and you can, the whole idea is that like imagine traveling with that as a tool. So one of the things that I want to do in the future, and you guys are totally invited to like sync up along the way, is but to actually travel and to like help connect with other paradigm shift communities while traveling around the world and doing things like Shiftivism and literally like kickstarting paradigm shift communities in like towns that we would go to, like find like some city.
Tool. That sounds so great.
Yeah, so like again, just the idea of one of these days, like that will be my intention. I'll be like traveling around, and you guys can be like mobile like shifters and everything too, right? Like, but imagine that, like going to a city you're only just passing through, and then doing like free hugs there for like 15 or like an hour, a couple hours, and then you give those people buttons, and then they get the thing here, and then they're just like, oh my god, like what is this? Like the mysteries are unfolding in front of me. Like this is so interesting, and then you can tell them about how to start a paradigm shift community where they are. Because again, like that's the goal. Like the main goal in this, as much as like it's important for us to be posting content, to be coming here, to be talking, one of what I feel is the main goal in this is to build that conscious community, to expand our circles, to be able to build the tribe. Like building the tribe is really just the best way to put it. So whatever that means to you, but actual paradigm shift communities are totally the thing. So yeah, and then like again, like that, the thing going back to with what Sam's doing, like that's totally something where I could see myself like visiting and staying at for a while, and it could literally become like a paradigm shift, like mini headquarters, temporary headquarters sort of thing, and we could have like even camp out under the stars or whatever. I mean, Sam will be able to help us figure stuff out in terms of like details and everything, but the options and the potentials are definitely there, and I think that's the exciting thing about this, is that months down the road we'll be like making videos on LiveNet, and then we're going to do a video where we're in the video together, and then we're going to post it on LiveNet, and we're going to be like, remember when we did that hangout and when we were just on the computer and then we met up in real life, and then other people see that and they're like, oh my god, like that's like a thing that people can do these days, is like change the world and meet up with real life shifters on the internet. So it's super exciting. So you gotta be thinking, again, just for everyone, like really this project is at its most effective when you think long term. Really like think long term, think about like the seeds that you're planting now, because that's like what makes this game worth playing, is like the long term missions and stuff. So yeah, and thanks for saying that, thanks for recognizing like the idea of gamifying Paradigm Shift Central, Sam. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Such a good idea. I mean, as a gamer myself, back in the day, spending 8 hours at the computer.
Yeah.
It's for some reason we don't see it. When you level up in a game, you can level up in real life too.
Exactly.
Same process. You learn, you level up.
Exactly. Totally. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I very rarely play video games these days because I'm so busy doing this video game. Right here.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, this is now my video game.
Exactly. It's good graphics on it too. So. Okay.
Oh my gosh, and I want new character upgrades. I want to get a cool new skin for my character, and I want to get like cool weapons and stuff, and I can't wait until I upgrade to my lightsaber hula hoop.
That's gonna be the thing. Yeah, exactly. Getting new items and stuff. So.
Hell yeah! Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. Okay, guys. It's 10:30 on the real clock right now, so we've been on air for about 2 hours, and we still have a couple people who we haven't really heard from. But just to sort of, Sam, was there anything else that you want to say before we move the talking stick around?
Just that I love you all with all my heart.
Cool, man. All right, love you too. All right, so We do have, I think Gary's microphone doesn't work, but he's been in the chat. So shout out to Gary and shout out to the other people who are in the 24/7 live chat. So again, there's like the live chat for the Google Hangout specifically, and then there's the live chat through the main website. And really encourage you guys to feel free to use that during the day, and it will become more implemented as LiveNet. Like, yeah, as the game turns on, it will be a valuable tool as we get more into the habit of hanging out on LiveNet to begin with. But anyways, what I want to say is. Shout out to those people who are still with us but just not able to share their voice. You are still heard. Gary says yo, he's in the chat. Gary, if there's a message that you want to share with people in the chat, feel free to leave it. If anybody wants to leave a message to be broadcasted on air, just leave a little message in the chat that says read this on air or something. But we still do have a couple of people. We have Joel. We have Jonathan who's in here, and I'm not even sure if Jonathan's mic works, but if it does, we'll be able to hear from him. And then we also have Brian, who is back from the previous week, and people will remember him. And Brian is our friend who is 18-ish, I believe, and yeah, he's like kind of new to the Paradigm Shift Central project. Or he's like heard about it for a while, but this is like last week was the first time that he was in a Hangout, and yeah, he was like working towards building some conscious community where he was in different ways and everything like that. So we'll get more of little updates from him as well. So let's let me just check in. Jonathan, does your mic work? Mic does work. Jonathan's mic works. Okay. So let's just see if hey Jonathan, how's it going? Okay. Jonathan, do you want to just test your mic? I'm just curious to see how good it sounds. Go ahead. How's it going, Jonathan?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we can hear
you.
you. Good, man. Good. Cool. All right. Okay. Well, just since they've been here longest and patience is like a virtue, Joel and Jonathan, does one of you guys want to just like hold on to the talking stick next and introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, Jonathan, go ahead. Yeah, and just yeah, like who you are, where you're from, a couple things you're interested in, and any conscious community involvement stuff you're involved with, or anything you want to share.
Okay. Well, to start with I guess the way I choose to identify myself is it's the expression of love. I don't really want to get too much in ego, so I tried to find a way to kind of express the love that we all are, the truth that we all are, in a way to identify myself with other people and connect and relate, but also kind of not touch into the whole ego. Anyway, I'm here basically is just, I don't know, I'm kind of overwhelmed with words right now. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of like biting my tongue. Wow. Yeah. Can you come back to me? I'm like, oh.
Totally, man. That's cool. Did you say where you were from? Did you want to just share that?
Oh, yes. Pretty much right by Boulder. You know where, if you know
Okay,
Boulder,
cool.
Colorado.
Cool. That there's like a lot of sort of like conscious community type stuff happening up there, from what I understand. Or there's a lot of conscious like energy there.
Most definitely.
Cool,
I
man.
just, it's so beautiful to see, just not only in Colorado, but just like you said, the other areas and like New York, and just, man, we're doing it. It's amazing.
Cool, man. I mean, yeah, you in terms of just like anything else that you want to share, like either just like related to the paradigm shift, like intentions of the project in general, or just otherwise. But yeah, is there anything you want to share related to like any conscious community stuff that you're involved with, or helping like what things you're doing to maybe help shift some paradigms where you are, either through art or anything?
Yeah. Currently, I'm just kind of working on Project Love, which is, I feel, a multifaceted project that really includes everyone, but focusing on certain parts of it, a lot to do with health and wellness. working with the mental, emotional self, kind of moving past a lot of the distorted patterns and habits within the psyche. Um, fear, shame, blame, grief, resentment, lies, illusions, attachments, just so we can really be our authentic, empowered, whole self. I'm also working with a few other individuals in the area that are working towards like developing a conscious living center, a conscious community, more um, centralized, more brick and mortar kind of foundation, something similar to very like a haven for humanity, and there's just so much going on. We just got 2 sheep and a baby cow and a little mama cow that's pregnant, and we're getting chickens, more chickens. It's just trying to create a record company on the conscious music, conscious expression, going around different parts, different events in the Colorado area, holding ceremony, holding space for those that are just stepping into their own wisdom, so they have time to blossom and realize and actualize their beautiful, amazing self. Just there's a lot going on, and it seems like one thing and another, and just like on to the next project, and just always something to do, and always someone to connect with, and to learn, to love to share in every moment. It's definitely appreciated when I see it from others, and then just to see that what we have as far as the common vision is coming into fruition. So I'm just really grateful for that.
Word.
That's awesome. Dude, you're involved with a lot. That's cool.
I'm in awe.
That's awesome.
Me too, man. I feel you.
You're so beautiful.
You're so beautiful. Everyone here is so beautiful. Especially you, person listening to this as well. So, because you're here too. So we see you.
Beautiful.
I feel you from the future.
My loins are tingling. From the future vibes. They get you right in the root. It tells you. You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Tell me.
Yeah.
Like future vibrations are felt through like intuition feelings, which are usually in like sacral and root areas. So
the whole website is red. It basically screams sacral chakra.
It basically screams, get your boots on the ground and do some work, son. So kind of. But yeah, like root
Ground
is like
crew.
Ground crew, action oriented. Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
No, cool. Jonathan or Isla, what projects or what websites do you want to direct people to? And I'll include the links other than your Facebook profile or your Facebook profile.
Well, I originally started onelovetogether.blogspot, just on kind of like a virtual platform for others to connect and share the little bit of expression they wanted. And this was kind of right around the same time Facebook was starting to get popular, but I didn't really want to always use Facebook, so I developed that. And then I also moved on to creating a Facebook page, Project Love. And then also there's my personal kind of, not so personal page, but it's thelove.com.
Cool. And that's spelled ITZDALOV.com.
I is in intelligence. T is in Tom, Z is in Zebra, D is in David, and A is in Awesome.
Awesome sauce.
So I got a link for
Yes,
that.
yes.
Posted. It has an awesome sauce. So it's the love.com, but itzdalove.com.
Yes, yes.
So got it. Cool. So yeah,
The
people can
love
definitely
expression that we are.
Cool. Okay. Was there? I mean, I think that's pretty much like. Oh, good. We're almost done the introductions, and it's like the end of the episode. Stay
Round
tuned
two.
for next week when we. I don't know.
We
You
have-
got any tips? You guys are more than welcome. Just in
Yeah.
terms of flow to get this working good.
We got to do like where we're all talking at the same time and we just learn how to listen and speak. And
Yes, that's a good idea.
I'm definitely here. The Project Love page. Feel free to share anything you would like to, as far as just your beauty, your expression, your authenticity on the Project Love page. Because I definitely would love to see more of that.
Awesome, man. I'll put the link into our live chats, multiple live chats.
Empowered being. Empowered planet.
All you high vibe humans out there.
Yes, yes. High five.
I also want to give a shout out to people in our chat earlier when I was just saying, yeah, like if you want to say anything, feel free and we'll relay it over. Gary says, smiles are from the future because you're thinking happy things are coming continuously. High vibe 5. And Barbara was talking about, when I was talking about feeling the future in my loins. She was saying not always, can be in the solar plexus, heart, throat, and third eye, which is yes, also true. You can feel the future in all of your chakras. In conclusion, you are the future. Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Barbara. Shout outs to you and your awesome salamander thingy.
Yes. Hello to Simon the Salamander from Paradigm Shift. We got a salamander in our crew. That's awesome. Cool. Okay, let's aim to wrap this up by 3 hours, which gives us like another half hour. But yeah, maybe Joelle would like to do like a short and sweet update on anything from last week, and then we'll pass it over to Brian, and then we'll just see where things go from there. So Joelle, did you want to introduce yourself and give us any updates or whatever you're thinking?
Sure. Greetings. My name is Joel. I'm residing over in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. And this last week has been somewhat intensive in study, I would say. And I've been feeling very drawn to kind of study on things that I've kind of just looked over the other way for most of my life. A lot of, to my surprise, actually, which is things like biblical texts and trying to actually get a better understanding of kind of where humanity came from, because I have a deep desire for learning the ultimate truth. Because, yeah, we all have like personal truths, which are a product of our experiences, but I've always itching to see what is it that as a collective for humanity, the blueprint for that everyone shares, like what is it that can malfunction or get skewed where people start tripping over their own feet and they don't know who they are and they live their lives sleepwalking. And so I really go to deep places trying to find these answers. And so I've kind of been piecing that together through various channels in this last week. And aside from my personal self-mentoring in a way, I've also been proactive in getting work done with my videos, as that's something that I want to get caught up on, so that even just today I was with a friend and she likes to see people's apothecaries, which is people's little a corner in their home where they store all their medicines and special herbs and foods and things like that. And so just had some fun time showing that. And she's like, Joel, you have a whole arsenal here. Like, you need to show people how to incorporate these kinds of things into their life. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And that's I think where I need to continuously ground myself. And with that, we actually went on a little trip to a nearby park to harvest nettle roots as well as burdock roots. And it was a bit of an exchange that we had, this friend of mine. And she does a lot of wilderness work and teaching survival skills and understanding language of animals and just a lot of nature connection and learning, of course, about wild foods and medicines. And as we're doing this, it was a good refresher that we can spend a lot of time learning through the digital era and from other people, but there's a completely different way of learning when we get out into nature and just get our hands in the dirt and get lots of pricks on my fingers from like picking up nettle, which hurts. Hey, I got initiated by a couple of plants today. And when engaging in that way, it brings me back to the understanding that it's great to access the information that people put out there, but nature reminds me that we need to check in. I need to check in inside with that deeper wisdom that we're connected to, that each of us is connected to. And, you know, we often may talk about that connection to the higher self and all that, but I really wonder how proactive people actually are, even people in conscious community and truth movements. How often do we actually engage with that truth muscle? You know, engaging that relationship to the higher self, to God, to asking the questions, and then being attentive to the answers that come in whatever form that may be, so that we can cross-reference with what actually is true in the world from the things that were being shoved down our throats, whether they be from the mainstream community or from conscious communities. Lots of people, they're just spewing their own opinions on things. And one might argue that that might be all there is. But I like to argue that when a person can experience what they're learning, then that's how you know it's real. That you can have an account of it and be able to have that where it's engaging you on all levels. Your imagination is involved. Your intellect can ground it. You can communicate that clearly to others. And most of all, that it holds deep meaning and value, that it's actually doing something in the world, not just a thought in our mind's imagination. So being out in nature today really connected me to that again, and to go back to revisit a lot of things that I have learned, a lot of skills and tools and mentors that I've gained so much from, and now really ciphering through that so that I can take the value and really see where it's going to get at like the next deeper truth, but not at the expense of not doing anything in the world. So I noticed that even with a small act, like going out for a nature connection today, which was something for myself, engaging with my friend at the same time, I was able to trigger for her through certain intuitively guided questioning to get her to see past some of her own addictive thoughts and patterns that you don't see when it's just you or you and the regular people. So it's really good to continue these dialogues and engage with people and ask really intuitively and pointed and guided questions to get people to get past the stuff that's colluding their wisdom and their courage, so that we can do more in the world. And these simple one-on-one interactions, sometimes with strangers, sometimes with friends, sometimes with people we only see every once in a while. I've got to experience all of those in the last week, has been very enriching, and I take these as signs that I'm on the right path. Like I'm grounding myself back to where I need to be. So it's been a personal journey this last week for me, but it's also been a journey of engaging with people in a one-on-one context to continue to ready myself up and continue building myself up to where I will inevitably, eventually, be tackling a much more wider audience, which inadvertently I'm doing a little bit just with my YouTube videos as I share my own personal story and my own learnings and creations. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I'll wrap that up there.
And it's awesome that you're getting back into doing the videos again. Have you posted any new ones yet? I haven't seen.
Yeah, every time I have one edited, I upload it right away. I'm still wrapping up the ones that I recorded in Portugal.
Did you?
And I have. I record more. I record more quickly. I record more videos more quickly than I'm able to like go and edit them on YouTube. Like it's so much work. Just to upload alone videos is can be quite intensive on bandwidth and time. So
yeah, because like I haven't checked your new one from Portugal and stuff, but yeah, no, I'll keep an eye open for those. And again, like anything that you want to share through LiveNet, feel free.
I'll probably because I already have these things up. Some that I feel that are more overall value, like exchangeable value. I probably like link them up on there for. I guess it can feed into the video repertoire that you're building on.
Totally. Yeah, and again, like that could be something that can be delivered through the newsletter automatically. So, just like delivered as that sense. But yeah, like I was gonna say, like you bring up a good point that I'll just hit upon real quick for us to keep in mind in terms of the current challenges involved with like uploading a video. Like keep in mind that like yes, like technology is still a little like glitchy in some ways, and yeah, like the longer you film a video, the more it's going to take you to edit or even just upload. So again, like I think if all of us can get into the habit of making like short and sweet one-shot take quick upload videos, those can be like a very good tool to do. And then just so you're not stuck having to like edit, edit like a simple video that could take a while, and then you want to go film another video, and then you're just like, oh, if I film this one, then I'm just gonna like be behind on this, and suddenly you overload yourself with video projects. Unless they're ones that you can just like edit later on. Sometimes you're filming things that you want to get online quick. Sometimes you're filming things that will be like posted months down the road. So just stuff to keep in mind when you're doing the media side of things.
Yeah, that's a good point because like I hold back from uploading some newer things that are like kind of more, they're not really time sensitive. It's like here's some good content, and it's like that stays behind because there's still these other ones from other things that I wasn't able to do. So,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, totally. That's and it's just something where like there's ways. We'll talk about it more later. Just like the little tricks for effective social media, like within this day and age, like in terms of specifically video or anything. Really.
I will say though that like there is definitely a distinction of value. I'm not going to say like quality or quantity, but value in the types of videos. Like when it's something like, let's say a 2, 3 to 5 minute video spiel that maybe is like an inspirational message or something like that, that maybe comes from just it's a single interaction someone had and they recorded it, or someone had an idea and they recorded it, things like that. That's more, it seems more inspirationally driven. But then there's also another line of material, which usually this is what I'm more drawn to personally, which is kind of like a long thesis, if you will, that is a particular array of content that is more educational in nature, which is a lot more intensive, if you will. So it can be anywhere from half an hour to an hour to, God, sometimes I indulge in things that are 3 to 9 hours long. It's crazy. But when it's a subject matter that's really relevant, and then if we're talking about expanding consciousness and awareness, well, that begins with first having knowledge, so that then we can tap into ourselves, of course, to see if this knowledge is true or not, is it relevant or not. But it really begins with the knowledge piece. So I think, we have the value of needing the inspiration through like shorter videos, but then also getting useful knowledge to decipher like the crazy amount of information and nature in this planet is just so much. But to have a handle on that does require that more in-depth video as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to have both. And I mean, you know, down the road or even now, like I totally encourage you guys to even think about just doing audio recordings, like making your own podcasts. And then those are things that we'll still be able to share through LiveNet. Again, you know, like you guys could totally just take your iPad and then just like record it purely just for the sake of audio, so don't even worry about the video, and then to just like say like, here's 30 minutes of me explaining something, right? And then you package that up a little bit, put it on LiveNet, and then we'll get it to an audience. Because I mean, state the obvious, like I think a lot of people are resistant subconsciously towards like being being creators opposed to just viewers, is because of like the their just like lack of assurance in terms of like their ability to be seen. A lot of people are just like, I'm never going to make a YouTube video because nobody will watch it, you know, like what's the point, right? Maybe a couple friends will watch it. So but like this is being like, oh no, like there's like, you know, each one of us is just like being able to get just to start off, even just say like, okay, like 100 people, like you know, and then eventually it's going to be like 500, and then it's going to keep growing as and then focusing on like good content too, opposed to just like sloppy content, raw content, but still good content. So again, like just like being intentional behind what it is that you're creating. And again, like going back to audio podcasts or whatever, those are totally doable. Audio recordings. Go ahead, Joel.
I wanted to mention just along those lines, for anyone like here or listening to this who has not ever created a video, that there's another huge value to it that might seem underrated or you don't recognize it at first. It's not just that you may influence and affect other people with the content you put out, but if you go back and review your content, you get to see yourself, and it triggers in you moments of growth. You recognize like, wow, like that's me, like that's. You can praise yourself for things that you're doing that went well. You can spot areas for improvement. You can see your growth over time. Yeah. But just as importantly is the practice, because then the ability to express oneself becomes a lot more refined through that practice. And the visuals really they do add a lot more power. So anyone who hasn't done it, just start amateurly. Like there's really no fear behind it. It starts simple.
Yeah, totally. I 100% agree with you. Like that is like, again, part of the game within Paradigm Shift is like, you know, understanding that the documentating of your own journey affects your journey, and the only way you can experience what that effect will be is by doing it. So I mean, it becomes like very interesting in terms of a mirroring tool. Something we'll get into later. I'll just mention it for you guys. You know, a lot of people probably have questions of like, oh, you know, I really want to get into video documenting and stuff, but like, how the hell do I do editing or anything like that? One thing that I can recommend if you want to do simple editing on an iPad or iPhone or something, download an app called Pinnacle. There's like a thing called Pinnacle Studio. That's the best editing software that I found for the mobile devices. So again, I'll post a link to where it is on the store in the notes, like the market store. Do we got who's talking right now? Joel, are you?
Jonathan. Can you mute your mic, Jonathan?
Or does Jonathan want to say something? I'm not sure if he's just talking to somebody else right now. I think so. Okay, I'm just going to mute him for a second. Sorry. So yeah, just down the road, I'll give more like tutorials on how to get started in terms of what video editing software is available and what you guys might be able to use. Again, Pinnacle Pro is something you can download for an app that just allows you can play around with it to edit slightly more effectively on an iPad or an iPhone, which for most people in this case may be their camera, just because they don't have a camera yet. A lot of people have iPhones and iPads. So again, like even the fact that memory probably is limited on those, try the short and sweet technique for those. And if you need to edit them, edit them. But Down the road, definitely moving towards less uploads to Facebook. Uploading to Facebook is like what they want you to do because they think that you're getting more views, but it's actually like totally just algorithms deceiving you. And like a 500 views on Facebook only means like 500 autoplays in a browser while people are scrolling through and probably not watching. So 500 views probably maybe means like 150-ish views, actual views again. So they're inflating it because they want you to be like, oh yeah, this is way more worth it than uploading it to YouTube. But YouTube views are like more legit, and LiveNet will help be the solution towards the fact that Facebook doesn't promote that well YouTube links. All we'll need to do is promote the newsletter at the very least, and then that will link all of our YouTube videos into one spot. So again, like that's like another social media hack within this to be able to help ensure that all of us are getting our videos seen, and all we have to do is make them and stuff. But again, another editing software I'll mention if you guys want to look into this, if you're already curious about becoming like you know, more involved with the video editing side thing, because video cameras are freaking magic, man. Like they literally encapsulate like pieces of reality. Like they're dimensional encapsulating devices that you can like share. Like you're literally like honoring a piece of reality, taking it with you, manipulating it, and then reproducing it to tell a story, to tell a part of consciousness. It's so freaking next level hyperdimensional stuff in some ways. But another software I was just going to say real quick, and we'll get back into the core of discussion, is Adobe Premiere. It used to be like a $1,000 program that you had to buy, but the good news is that now you can actually download it, presuming your Mac can run it. I think you need like one of the newest browser or operating systems, Yosemite or Captain or Capitano or whatever is a new operating system. But if you just pay, like, you can sign up to pay like $20 a month to be able to download Adobe Premiere, which is like a high-end editing software. So that's just something I want to let you guys know about now, if you want to look into that. But I'm sure there are other editing softwares that are probably free and available. And if anybody knows of anything, please feel free to let me know, and we'll. Because that is one of the challenges within the community. It's just like giving people directions on how to be better video journalists. Because it's.
Can I throw in something in there as well?
Yeah.
It's just like for starters, anyone who has even just like maybe an older digital camera, like even those Canon ones, they can record video up to 10 minutes, usually in AVI or MP4 format, as well as if you have a digital camera, then a camcorder of any kind, super. But if not, digital cameras, you can always use those. And then when you have files like that, you can upload them to YouTube. And if you are conscious of keeping like just down to one shot instead of trying to make something like sweet perfect where you're taking multiple shots and you have to piece them together and like that, if you keep that simple, you can use YouTube to your advantage, because overnight, like, you can leave a video uploading and it'll be uploaded onto YouTube, and then they have a built-in editor on YouTube, which is really not complicated to use, and it does give you the functionality to be able to clip videos, to add some what do you call it, transitions in between clips, and there's some other more complicated features that you can add in as well, but you can really work the basics on it, and then when you save that, you can publish that, and it'll just create a new video for you, and it's relatively easy. It's going to cost you nothing, and you can really minimize that overall work you need to do just simply by working with 1 or 2 videos max for the sake of whatever it is you wanted to add or edit in the video.
Yeah, so you're using YouTube built in. So yeah, no, that's a good point too. And again, like I think I mentioned it fully, but okay, Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. So we're gonna search on Adobe Premiere Pro if people are looking for that. And yeah, we'll talk more about like video editing stuff. Like again, like I'll probably even do some workshops or something that we'll like kind of do through the Paradigm Shift community, where it could even be like a couple-day thing. But again, like between this week and next week, I would give you guys the shift mission as an assigned objective to practice making video. even just to focus on just one video if that's what feels right for you, or to even try doing a couple. Because I mean, ultimately what is actually a really effective tactic is getting good at filming these like 1-2 minute videos and then keeping a bunch of them on reserve and then releasing them like every couple days, and think about it that way and create them in like a non-time sensitive manner. So instead of being, hey, today's Tuesday, December 20, blah, 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 you know, or just it's from the future apparently. And so hi, today I'm in the future. You could totally do that. That's totally possible. But again, just you can do that. You can make like a bunch of mini videos and then upload those as like quick uploads to Facebook or YouTube, but preferably not Facebook. But Facebook is still useful for building an audience. But yeah, either way, just kind of do that would be my thing for
Can
you.
I throw in one more footnote, Brent?
Footnotes, yes, please.
This little footnote is just something I notice sometimes for people that just kind of like do videos for the sake of doing videos because maybe they've never done it, and it's Brendon mentioned it earlier, but it's the how that is something of quality, and the quality is either something that's relevant and useful for you in like a journal kind of context, or quality is something that is going to be either inspiring or deliver some useful information or something for other people. But it's either to benefit you and your growth or to benefit the knowledge base and the upliftment of other people, not just shooting something because, oh, I should like do a video, and then you don't really have anything to go on. You're like, okay, that's my video. You know, really avoiding that, because that's really
Joel, are you still there? It stopped. It cut out on you. Maybe not. You guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, I think we're stuck. Okay, Joel, just jump back in. I'm not sure what happened, but actually, just continue on that, and we'll bring the talking stick back in and over to Brian. What I was going to say is that for anybody listening to this, again, people who may not be too familiar with the project, and even for everyone who is familiar with the project, check out Paradigm Shift Central TV, because right now that is an awesome place to be able to see examples of what videos look like. And you'll see like the majority of them are minus maybe only a couple, no, pretty much all of them are all videos made by like people who are just regular community members such as us, you know, people who may not necessarily have huge production behind their things. So you can see a variety of styles behind the different videos, you know, like some of my favorite videos are videos where people do just sort of take like 10 minutes and talk about one specific subject and you just kind of listen to it. Jordan Levine, Riff Shaman, he has some great videos on those. Gianna and Genevieve, they have some great videos of those as well. And yes, like Brianna, like that's what some of her videos of that, she's made a lot of variety of videos. Brianna's a huge YouTube celebrity, you know it.
No.
Sorry. But anyways, what I was going to say is, yeah, just like check out Paradigm Shift Central TV, and that'll give you some examples on how we can all experiment on different ways to make it. But Joel, back to you. You dropped out. You were talking.
Yeah, I think I got my thing across though before my connection dropped.
You were in the middle. Well, no, I think you did say it, but yeah, just kind of saying, like, not just making a video where you don't know what you're talking about, a video. Trying.
Yeah, make the time mean something for you or for another person, not just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that idea of like being respectful of your audience's time. Again, like give them something where they can watch like while they're about to head out the door in the work towards work in the morning. Something quick, if that's the intention. So cool. Does anybody else have any ideas, comments, or anything relative to video making production side? Because that is a huge part. You know, that is how you play Paradigm Shift Central, is by making videos. Like that's honestly how you.
I have a tip.
Yes.
One thing that helped me when I first started making
actually,
my
sorry,
videos.
Brianna, I just wanted to stop you real quick, only because Sam, I think, is about to leave, and he was just going to say farewell.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. Bye, Sam.
Thanks, man. Yeah, good night, everybody. I love you all so much. Keep the Shiftivism going.
Thanks a lot, man. Good to hear from you.
Thanks.
Good night, brother.
Peace out.
Peace out. Oh, yeah, also,
Bye.
Cyberlink Power Director, just, you know, as another tool to use to edit videos. It's a lot simpler than Premiere.
Cyberlink Power Director?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll add that into the show notes. Cool. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Have a good night, everybody.
Take it easy.
Good
Peace out.
night.
Okay. 11:11 on the clock. Let's all do our 11:11 dance.
11.
Yay! Cool. Okay, Brianna, what's your 11:11 intention? And then share whatever you're gonna share, anyways, in terms of tips. Going through the Stargate.
My 11:11 intention. To honor myself. That's really honor thyself. And then the tip I had for videos is when I first started off with the stream of consciousness videos, it kind of helped writing a bare bones skeleton script to keep me on track of the points and the conclusion that I wanted to come to. Because sometimes you have these aha moments and you're like, I want to share this. And so it helps if I sit down and I write down the main points of that aha moment and how I got to that aha moment, and then try and wrap it up that way. So that really helped. And I just finished writing a script. I'm going to try and use one of my gifts, which is this new comedic energy that I'm tapping into, which I've always had. I've always had this like crazy comedic energy, but I'm actually going to like try and use it in an effective way. Hopefully that works out. We'll see. Oh my god.
You could totally, I mean, this tips goes for anything, but poetry. You could make like comedic poetry or something, and then like make a video where you're going around town and you're like trying to be like quirky but rhyming, and then people will listen to you. Just an idea.
I've done something like that before where I said mew at the end of every sentence.
That works.
Yeah.
Mew. Okay. Michelle, did you have a point you want to add in or anything?
Well, I'm feeling like the call to go to sleep soon, so that's one of them. And then the other
Yeah.
so I love you guys and peace and everything. But yes, 11:11 intentions. But Skull, I was planning on making a video this week anyway because the new moon, the same thing had you said the intentions and stuff. And thanks for reminding me about the to do something official for the 2012. I don't know, not 2012, but you know what I'm saying, the 21. Yeah, this whole
Guys, it's gonna be 2012 on 21st.
We're the best. I can feel it in my chakras. Okay, so I'll do a poetry video for sure, and I want to do like an intentional, multiple videos. But thanks for bringing back poetry because that's a huge part of my life, and I think that's important for everybody to get really expressive because I've done, I don't know, I'm going on tangent, but here we go. I've done like these wisdom talk videos. Like I've done like that's like no problem. And I was creating in 2012 like these poetry pieces, but like they were very like that's something that I've like held back on sharing a lot of because it's like, nobody cares about that part, But so it's cool that you're like hammering like poetry, and I'm like just like 2 minutes ago I was like, okay, I guess I gotta go to bed, but ding ding ding, like so we're all gonna share our poetry as love, not weapons. You said something earlier as like poetry is a weapon, and I thought we are dropping beauty into the world. We are adding beauty into this world. That is a calling to deliver beauty, to walk in beauty, to add more mystic beauty to the planet. So that's my intention for the week. I love you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Michelle.
Blessings, y'all.
If I think next Wednesday, like we'll stick to a routine, so we'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'm going to be traveling.
Okay.
For that one. But I'll post. I just made an account, so I will definitely post a video on the thing if I'm not in the Hangout, and if I am, then I am, and I love you guys.
Awesome. Okay, it was good to see you. I love you.
Thanks for
Bye.
Okay, good night. Cool. Okay, so I think that almost brings us close to the end of the episode. And yeah, like I was just gonna say, like in terms of Brian Celesti's introduction. Sorry, Brian. We'll finish off the episode with Brian's introduction because that makes sense. But it comes full circle. But what I was gonna say, in terms of like a shift mission between now and next week, like practice making a video. and also writing poetry would be like secondary objective. So those would be your assigned little mini shift missions for anybody listening, just to, again, to do for the sake of doing. And I think it's kind of cool when we can all do it as a group, and doing it as a group also creates like accountability between each other and stuff. I mean, no one has to do anything, but it's pretty cool when we can like be doing it together, and to be able to like, I mean, in terms of like, more accountability would come into when we're sharing our own personal intentions, and then sharing them out loud sort of brings us into more accountability. So maybe we can close up. We'll close up with just like any closing intentions, and then yeah, we'll end on that note pretty much to ramp things up for next week. But before we do that, passing it over to hey Brian, do you want to introduce yourself?
Go, Brian.
Why
It's
not,
your
right?
birthday.
Cool. Oh, okay, you're gonna have to. I had to boost your audio in post last time, so just talk nice and
about
close to
that.
your mic. No, it's all good. It's just whatever it is. But
Okay.
go ahead, man. So just
Sure, my mic is.
yeah. So just again, just like who you are, where you're from,
Right.
and then maybe like what you might have talked about last week and any updates you want to share.
All right. Let's see. I'm Brian. I'm from Minnesota. What was the other part? Let's see. I guess was kind of starting the beginnings of a paradigm shift community in Burnsville, Minnesota, or this area thereabouts. Kind of just talking to friends, getting the idea planted in their minds of like just having open-minded conversations and getting them to find open times so that we can find meetings and meet like that. That's kind of what I've been doing, and it's kind of the intentions that I'm still having, I guess.
That's good, man. That's like you're totally making good steps like towards like I always think of like you know, you start off like when you're growing a plant, like you start off in like a small pot, and then like as it goes bigger, you try like getting into a bigger pot. But just like reflecting on the idea that things that like take time like have like good foundation and deeper roots and stuff, instead of just like running up to your friends and being like, hey, want to have like a meditation group, and they're just like, you're crazy, go away from me, and then just be like, oh, that didn't work, whatever. You really just gotta like ease into things and just like casual conversations with people, and just sort of like intentionally bringing up conscious discussion, you know, even talking about like lucid dreaming. I think more people even now like who are 17, 18 have probably heard the term lucid dreaming, or they've probably seen like a Joe Rogan video, or probably like started investigating things in their own way. So there's
actually a lot of people do lucid dream or have premonitions in their dreams, and then they don't realize it, of course, until it actually happens. Then it's like, dude, that's so weird. And they talk about it. It's like, dude, I did like the same thing. It's like, that's so weird, and then it just kind of stops there because people are like, either they're A, doing something else, or B, they just don't know where to go with it.
Yeah, so like it's hard culturally. It's hard to find a context for being able to talk about dreams. But I mean, like I think when you begin to understand a bit more about dreams, you can sort of begin to be like, oh, like you know, like have you ever tried writing down your dreams? Or like I was reading up on some lucid dreaming and it talked about this, and then you can get into like different techniques for like reality checks and turn it focus it into a practical thing. In terms of like starting a paradigm shift community, like part of it is just expanding your personal networks by connecting with other people, you know, maybe seeing like feeling your intuition in terms of other people who might be in your school or in your community, who you may just sort of intuitively get this feeling of like, I should go talk to that person, you know, and follow that, listen to that, and then just sort of like maybe if you had a button on them, you know, you could give them a button, and then like that could have the flower life on it, and then like that creates a conversation about like the flower life and infinity. So I mean, like again, the tools are there. But what I was just gonna say though is that like, yeah, it's really, like, I think when you can use lucid dreaming as a platform for other topics, that's like a super valuable thing. Lucid dreaming is one of the most accessible shifty topics because of the idea that everyone dreams, so everyone has like a point of reference, and everyone's probably seen like Inception, which may or may not necessarily be the best reference in terms of understanding dreams. I think it's actually a little bit more confusing than anything, but still, it opens up people to the idea of topics like dreams. And dreams are just like, you know, it goes further down the rabbit hole. So where you want to take it down the rabbit hole from there is good. So that's good to hear, Brian, that you've been like having more conversations with people, because I'm sure that will just like continue to unfold. And like, and even just you being open to that and that being your intention, you'll start to find like other people like sort of coming into your reality. Like the conversations will continue, I'm sure. So that's cool though, man. Cool. Did you do you want to because I mean, I guess again we're getting like close to the episode, but did just in terms of like paradigm shift community sort of techniques or topics related to that, is there a place that you've maybe looked into where you might be able to organize some meetups, like a location for open-minded discussion? Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking like a local library, and then for the kids still in school, hopefully like have encouraging them to open up a club there about it, something like that, or just meeting up sometime in the media center there at the school, just so they can talk about it, and then have somewhere to go afterwards or something like that.
For sure.
Details, but
yeah, no, that's good. Like. Yeah, like exactly. Like libraries are a good place. You know, libraries sometimes just have tables in the back. So if it's just like a group of like 4 or 5 of you to begin with, which often cases can be the case, then yeah, you can just sort of like arrange and do that. But yeah, like organizing it as a club through a school is always a useful technique. And eventually down the road, we can like get you I can help you design some little pamphlets. So like once you pick a spot, you can set a time, and once you have that time set, just like give yourself enough time to promote it. So I mean, you know, give yourself at least like maybe like 5-6 days. So it would be like, you know, next week or something, and then you can just give people a heads up. And then again, like if that pamphlet has the link to the Facebook page, if you make the Facebook page by then at least it gives people like some reference of how to stay in contact, even though Facebook might be kind of crappy, but it's still something. So I can help you out with any graphics. Let me know if you find a spot and you set a time. And then, yeah, I can sort of help you from next steps from there. But
will do, thanks.
Cool, man. Cool. Was there any? Is there anything else you want to like share, Brian? Like like what's the shift look like from your end of the world, or anything? Any crazy things?
I don't know. My definition of crazy is gone.
Yeah, crazy would be.
Everything's crazy, and therefore I can't really say anything's crazy because everything is crazy to me. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll go through the group to just sort of wrap things up with some closing intentions, and then we'll get you back in on that too. So let's sort of do that, crew, and then we'll wrap this up. And I think that'll probably be about 3 hours, give or take. But yeah, let's finish with just like a couple closing intentions for like our personal journeys for like this next week or just for the coming future. Would anybody like to share first? Okay, let me just think of something for a second. And let's just kind of actually just take a moment here to just kind of end with like a closing breath meditation, just like very slightly. So for people listening and for us here, if you guys aren't busy at the moment, let's just sort of like relax for a second, just 1 second, and then expand that second out into infinity. So just take a nice, gentle, deep inhale through the nose and relax. So inhale. And exhale. And again, gentle inhale. And gentle exhale. And just continue to find the rhythm of your own breath. And just thanking yourself for being here, for allowing your own journey to unfold, and honoring how magical it is when our many circles overlap, and realizing that we become the mandala, that this community is a mandala, and your addition to it is what makes it unique. So again, gentle inhales, and gentle exhales. So you guys can just continue breathing. Let me just reflect and see what intentions I can share just by listening to myself. So last week I mentioned my intention of trying not to stay up past like 3 a.m. I notice once I do, it sort of throws off my sleep schedule. I noticed that I did it once this week, but other than that, I sort of kept to it and it worked, and I got a lot of work done this week. My intention for this coming week in the future is to just remain diligent with working, with building the website, and also am still intending to make sure that I take time to play and time to take care of my body, understanding that that too is equally as much an important part of what needs to be done. So my intention is to make sure that my focus is fairly distributed within my own reality, between working on projects and taking care of my temple, which is a vehicle for working on projects more. So yeah, that would be some of my intentions. So I'll just sort of openly pass the talking stick around if anybody else would like to go next. And looks like Eddie's here. Hey, Eddie. Right on time. No, we're just chilling out doing a closing meditation and intention sharing after our team meeting. So.
All right.
Cool. Okay, maybe Carlos, do you have anything? We haven't heard from you in a bit. Any intentions you want to share?
Let me see. I just can't think of anything right now. Oh, okay. Food choices this week. Intentions to practice mindfulness in the food choices that I choose to eat. As you said, taking care of your temple. So I do take care of my temple pretty, I can say nicely, but I can always improve and do better with my food choices.
Cool. Oh, that's good, man. Is anything else? We'll pass it around.
You can pass it.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to go next? Who wants to take this talking stick? Brian does.
My intention is to be true to myself and not let myself think myself out of who I am, because I find myself doing that often. And I often change myself for the benefit of others, and I feel like I should stay to who I am and express myself as I am, and let myself be more raw, I guess. Because I've
Cool.
had a history of not doing that myself at all.
It's like stepping into more of the authentic self. Is one way.
Weird.
Cool. I like that though, man. Yeah, no, that's important. So awesome. All right. Is there anything else, or we'll pass it around? Okay, cool. All right, Brianna, do you want to? You're not too busy multitasking, are you?
Oh, no,
Jeez.
actually, well, kind of. I'm stretching right now, and that's one of the intentions that I had set earlier in the week was to take better care of my body and get it back into super awesome ninja shape. I was like, must become an Amazon Ninja Warrior.
It'll be part of your story on LiveNet.
Right, exactly. That's a thing. And as well as to stay focused in the work that I have decided to do and the intentions that I put forth in terms of what I want to create. So
Awesome.
Passing the stick.
Cool. Does Jonathan, you got your mic open. Did you want to go next?
That works. So I was just thinking of a few that I wrote down the other day on my board because I've been really playing, kind of focusing on the vision and my intentions with that vision and what we all want to see coming to fruition. So I intend to raise the vibration to operate the highest frequency. I intend to regenerate humanity. I am intending with every thought, emotion, feeling, action to co-creating this reality in every moment. I intend to make love in every moment with all it is. I intend to activate being with every step, with every massage, with every attunement, with every ceremony, just in everything that I do. Just really being conscious, putting more awareness and care into everything and everyone. You know, really being and not just doing.
Awesome. That's great, man. Cool.
And to also give appreciation more, especially to others, and help them see, you know, that they have much to share and to be grateful for that they're bringing themselves, you know, to constantly empower others to empower others to empower others.
For sure. Yeah, empowering others to empower others. I like that. That's good. Cool. Awesome. All right. Was there anything else, Jonathan, or pass the stick?
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. But again, I want to say thank you to everyone that's on the call and to those that aren't and that are taking direct action in the world to making this this vision come into fruition. So we all have something more abundance to celebrate.
For sure. That's awesome. Yeah, like shout out to all the people who aren't listening to this. Shout out to everyone.
Well, I mean, they're picking up on it regardless whether in this conference call or not. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's recorded. Everything's broadcasted. Always. Okay, I'm just gonna. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm just gonna. Gary.
Thank you, brother.
If there's anything you want to say, please type it in the chat. I'm just going to read something that you wrote earlier. Nobody type in the chat. It's going to move my thing. Or let me just copy paste it anyways. Gary said in the chat, this is something from earlier, but I'm just going to read it anyways. Gary Neo Jesus. He says, the ultimate truth is that you are here exploring yourself from the inside and helping manifest a better reality through the power of manifestation and resonate it as long as possible. But that's my ultimate truth. We can learn all day, but putting what you learn to use. It's practical magic tricks 101. So yeah, I like that. So Gary, if there's anything else you want to say that I'll just read on air to people before we wrap up the broadcast, feel free to type that into the chat there as well. But yeah, like that's, again, you know, this project, what this is about, like what all of us are here, like individually, collectively, like yeah, it's about becoming better creators within the dream. Straight up, like and manifest and using our dreaming abilities to like manifest an awesome dream for as many people as possible for everyone. So that's just one of the ways that I can see it, but you know, I'd love to hear just your guys' ways of interpreting it more as we unfold. So Jonathan, was there something you want to say? Your mic's open.
As far as just with that, just going back to what I was saying with awareness and care, really just staying clear, balanced, and centered within myself. So, and be able to share more and be more and present with one another.
Sure.
Can you? I didn't hear the last part of what you were saying. Can you say that one more time?
Like before you started talking, I didn't say anything there. Just now.
Oh,
I didn't say
okay.
anything. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. So that's okay.
Yeah, like right before I started talking.
Oh, I was just like talking about like being better dreamers within the dream and manifesting like more awesomeness for everyone. So that was pretty much it. Yes. Cool.
Yes.
All right. I just want to go back. Gary, some sort of okay. There's no new message from Gary. Well, he said sharing is caring from earlier, so that could be part of the message. Gary, if you want to leave a message, just feel free. Okay, he's got one. He's typing it. And just shout out to Eddie, who's joining us. Eddie is like our awesome friend from Australia who always joins these hangouts late, but he's like been in other after party hangouts. You can find him. He's sort of hidden on the internet, but he's got some super amazing stories. Is Gary, what is your comment? Is it the thing about do you think the airwaves get confused with so many shifters what to shift into? Is that your thing? Okay, so that's like a question for a huge discussion, or not even really, but yeah, or that there's some sort of damage that can happen to the psi of the realm. That is a good question. You know, like what is damage? What is the psi of the realm? Gary, you'll have to get on one of these talks and explain it to us some more from your Gary perspective. Gary's awesome. He's got like a lot of really awesome ways of explaining things too. Okay, so just closing up this the broadcast, we'll just get through the last couple intentions from Joel. That will be enough to close us off. So Joel, is there anything, personal intentions that you want to share?
Yeah, I find that these declarations help with keeping accountability to self, and also the opportunity to manifest the intention presents itself when we sit it. And for me, it is to wrap up my current series of studies that I've been doing these last week and enter into what I need to study up next to the next series of things. But to wrap this one up this week, then I can move on to another series. And also during my social engagements with people, to stay honest, stay true, and to see the truth of who people are and address that. Sometimes that means I don't make friends. Sometimes that means people have their lives changed. So that's what I will do in my interactions coming forward in the next week.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. All right. Is there anything anybody else wanted to share? Any general community news that you guys might want to share before we wrap things up? Otherwise, we can always share more for another time. Okay, I think we're good. Cool. Okay, yeah, with that said, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, for listening to this episode. If you're listening to this episode close to December 9th, stay tuned because I'm still updating the LiveNet website, but by this time next week, things will be very, very exciting. The website will be much more operational and functioning, and you'll be able to see LiveNet turn on, or at least the whole Paradigm Shift Central turn on in terms of the gamification of it, which will be very cool. And, I mean, I honestly, like until this point in the show, I had almost forgotten to mention it. But please, if you enjoy this program and want to be able to support the community, and also specifically to anybody who's in the Hangout chat with us here, I just want to be able to invite you guys to help support my Patreon crowdfunding, which is basically what allows me to continue to manage the website and to do all of the work involved with the Paradigm Shift project during the day that will be able to continue to manifest more broadcasts like this, more website updates, more global meditations, more awesome consciousness shifting videos that I'll be spending time producing, the Journey to Lucidity 3 movie that I'm going to be working on. And basically that's the Patreon is a way for people to support artists through monthly contributions. So what I'm asking for is, ideally the math in this is like, all I need to do is get 125 people to donate $20 a month, and that's it, and then I'll be set. So math is that there's going to be more than 100 people listening to this. There'll probably be close to maybe like 300, 400, give or take. But with that said, really just encouraging and inviting you guys that if you've been involved with this project for a while, if you're new to it, if you really like it, if you've seen some of the videos, if you've enjoyed the meditations, then please feel free. Please, I want to avoid using the word. I want to say, I want to, like, please feel free. Like, I want to invite you to get involved with this. Like, I'm just trying to be conscious of using my words, because I know crowdfunding can be a very tricky thing in terms of like getting past people's psychic defense. Like there's psychological defenses that we put up when people ask for help, which is a very peculiar thing. So opposed to just being like saying like, oh guys, I need your help, it's just saying like, I invite you guys to be able to help accomplish this objective of being able to manifest much more awesome paradigm shift stuff for the time to come. And again, anybody who signs up through the Patreon, which is patreon.com/Brendon Culliton, and it's linked into the LiveNet site and also in the notes for this broadcast, you guys will get perks that will also be modified throughout like the ongoing story of this, but one of them will also be a 25% bonus to any shift button orders. So whether you're able to sign up now or sooner or later, whatever, just feel free to let me know, and that's super greatly appreciated. And that's my regular thing that I have to do, is just sort of remind you, like, it's like I'm asking you guys out of, like, that's like the universe asking, because without asking, it would be unlikely for people to know that the invitation is there. So I'm just letting you guys know that the invitation to create's there. So yeah, crowdfunding through social media. But again, like, honestly, like, a bunch of people donating a few dollars a month, like, that's a hack. Like, that's a hack to be able to really just like do something other than what society would expect you to be able to do. So help me, help us, help everyone by doing something society wouldn't expect us to do. As a form of social protest and as a form of social, like, engagement to help change the world, please support my Patreon campaign by being invited to contribute. There, how was that? Okay, so that's pretty much it. And stay tuned for more updates with the project, because there will be the global meditation around the 21st, which may actually be on the 21st, and maybe on a Monday, as peculiar of a day as that is. But either way, we'll let you know. And yeah. Other than that, you can find me online also at facebook.com/SkullBabylon. Go watch the Journey to Lucidity movies if you haven't seen those yet at youtube.com/SkullBabylon. And stay tuned for updates. Oh, and last thing, within this link, if you're listening to this like through the LiveNet link, scroll down to the bottom, especially you guys who are in this chat. So within like the actual broadcast link where the show is, there's a little box at the bottom where it just says subscribe to the newsletter, or subscribe for Paradigm Shift Central updates. Please add your email to that, and that will sync you up with the newsletter that will be coming out soon. So you'll see more about that later. But that is that is like the building our email list is how we build our audience, just to give you guys an understanding of how that will work. Rather than having to depend on Facebook delivering things, the email list will allow us to directly connect with the people who want to be engaged with us. So getting people to add their email to getting paradigm shift updates is how we build our audience. So by you guys having that, it will just keep you in sync, and also just show you what it is that it'll give you like the full scope of everything that we're doing here. So stay tuned for more about that later. Yeah, and any other links people are interested in getting involved with the Paradigm Shift community, go to through the main link. If you're listening through Blog Talk, the link for the main LiveNet link is posted in the info. Scroll down to relevant links. It's irrelevant. And from there, you'll see links to the Shift store, community admin tools, Shift tools, how to start a community, free hugs videos, and also my Patreon page there. And stay tuned because more updates are underway, but that will give you more insight on how to get involved in this community and how to be a shifter within this awesome thing that we got going on. So much love to all the shifters out there. So that said, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being involved, for doing what they're doing. You know, you're changing the world where you are. What the world needs now is like more people being their authentic self. So continue to like work on yourself, continue to ask questions, be on the quest that you are on. And yeah, just connecting with community is a huge way that's going to be able to help keep things gamified and exciting. So, guys, was there anything else? Just passing the talking stick around. If there's anything closing, final notes that anybody wanted to add, other than that, we'll just sort of all say goodbye at once.
I just have just one question. Where do you purchase the Free Hugs t-shirts at?
Okay, good question. So the Free Hugs t-shirts are currently not in rotation, but I may bring them back into rotation very soon. Traditionally, they're at teespring.com/free love hugs. Teespring.com/free love hugs. Right now, they're just not in rotation, but I'll be activating them soon, or possibly another shirt that will also be a Paradigm Shift shirt. Yeah, so just stay tuned and I'll let you know. But right now they're not available at this moment, but they will be. So to answer your question. Cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, because I know Brianna's got hers coming in the mail from the last batch, so she was on it. Cool. Okay, guys.
I got 2.
I thought you did too. Good idea. What colors did you get?
I got, I think, the purple one and the black one.
Oh, nice. Black Free Hug shirt. I've not seen that printed before. That'll be cool. Styling. Yeah, part of being a shifter is like, you know, upgrading your gear and like being all stylish. And
I got a Starseed headband from Galactic Fairy.
oh, sweet.
So.
That's awesome. Cool. Okay. Yeah, let's wrap this up. Let's call it a night, and we'll come back another time. And thank you again so much, everyone, for listening to this. So, guys, let's say farewell to all of our friends on the internet. So, until next time, internet friends.
Bye, internet. Oh yeah,
We love you. Aloha. All right, go change the world, guys. One love. Peace.